Hi, chat. That is not the right scene. Wait, we'll try this again. We'll try it again.
Hello, Miss Egumu.
Hi, chat.
I know you had a bit of a wonky start, but I hope your day will get better. Let's go over the checklist.
So.
Daily meds taken?
No, but I'm going to take them in a minute.
Do I even want to ask if you brushed your fangs?
No, I've been rushing around all morning.
You can't keep postponing the dentist and your teeth. Love you lots and let's have an awesome stream.
I did brush them yesterday. I did brush them yesterday morning and night. But I didn't do them today because I had to wake up and do princess duties this morning too. So like Mia woke me up this morning and I had to like basically jump out of bed and get dressed and go straight out the door with him. And then I came back home. I had to pop off to the shops on the way back as well because we're out of milk and I can't live a day without tea. So I had to pop off the shops afterwards as well. And then I got home and then I phoned the doctors because I wanted to speak to them about my thumb, but also my ear. Because the stream title was not just a joke or a meme, guys. I do have an ear infection. I've been kind of, for the last couple days, I've been like thinking to myself like, my ear doesn't feel quite right. I hope that goes away on its own. And it didn't. It's really bad today. So I spoke to them about my thumb and my ear. I've got a phone appointment with the physio to discuss what's happening with my hand on next Wednesday. And then they were like, can you come in for 10:30? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And it was already like, what time was it they phoned me? I think it was already like 9:45. It was like 9:30, 9:45-ish when I was on the phone to them. So I was like, yeah, sure. So then like I was like, then I like had to get ready again to go out again and stuff. So like, I haven't really had much time to myself this morning. Basically, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I haven't really had much time to myself this morning. So I'm not going to take the blame for this morning. And my toothbrush is on charge. I promise I'll brush them at bedtime. Hi, baby. Hello. But yeah, I'm going to take my meds in a minute. I haven't taken them today yet either, because again, I've just like barely had 2 minutes to like myself this morning, so I'm giving him pets. He's too far down to kiss him, but he's getting pets. You can't come up, East. There's no room here. I'm sorry. There's no room. Yeah, how is everyone today? Happy Friday. I hope everyone else's Friday is off to a better start. Are you guys doing better than Megu? Hopefully. I hope so. I might have to pop out again. I don't know how quickly. My pharmacy's like really hit and miss how quickly medication gets sorted. So I don't know. If I do get the text saying my meds are like my thingies are available while I'm streaming, I will end stream to go pick up my medication, obviously. I might end sooner than that. I don't know. I don't really know if like wearing my headphones is gonna like upset my ears or anything. I don't really know yet. I do use over the ear headphones, so I'm not sticking anything in my ear to do it, you know? So it might be okay, but it might be like the pressure of just having something on my head gets too much. I don't really know. I really don't know how today's gonna go, chat. I really don't know, but I wanted to stream today, even if it's just a little one. Like, I wanted to at least try and stream, but yeah, I can't guarantee what it's gonna be like or how long it's gonna be. We will just be chatting today. I'm not going to be playing a game or anything because I don't really feel up to it. I might do some art, but if I do art, I'll be working on something I can't really show on stream. So we'll just be in just chatting today, whatever we get up to. Yeah, just taking my meds quick. Give me a second. Also, we're listening to my this isn't my normal playlist today. We're listening to my Spotify release radar. So I will not be blamed. If a bad song comes on, it's not my fault, it's Spotify's fault today, okay? I haven't handpicked this selection. Oh, one of my pills went down the wrong way. Well, not the wrong way, but like it went down like sideways or something. And I felt it on my gag reflex as it went down. That was icky. Eh. There we go. I've taken my meds. I have taken my meds. I'm doing good. Friday is not bad. Hell yeah. Just had a meeting. Other than that, I'm free. Yippee! I'm alive. I finished the course of CySec. Back on the grind for a job. Oh, good luck, man. I know it's rough out there. Good luck, buddy. It sounds so weird because like, I can only really hear the music through my right ear. It's weird because like, oh yeah, I can hear through my left ear, but it's like, you know that sound, like, like, if you like put your head underwater and you like listen to something underwater, like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? If I say like my left ear, like it sounds like it's underwater, like it's got very faint hearing in it, but it's really muffly and distorted. So like it kind of, when I have both earphones on, it kind of doesn't feel like I'm hearing through the left ear at all. It feels like it's only coming through the right, but it is actually coming through both, and I can technically hear through the left, but only very, very slightly. But yeah, he had a look at me and stuff, and they prescribed me eye drops. No, I don't think eye drops would do the trick. I don't think eye drops would do the trick for an ear infection. No, ear drops. He's prescribed me some steroid antibiotic ear drops. So yeah, just waiting for those to be available to pick up, and I'll start taking them. I don't know. I kind of forgot to ask. I didn't really think about this until I was like walking back indoors. I was like, shit, I should have like checked what eardrops it was, because remember when I had the ear infection in December and the eardrops made me feel violently sick for like the entire duration of taking them. So I don't know if this is the same ones or not, because I don't remember the name of what I had last time, and I don't know what he had. That's so bad because like, I kept having to ask him to repeat himself because like my hearing's really fucked at the moment. So like he would say to me, he was like, you know, oh, have you ever been diagnosed with blah 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 before? And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Because I just didn't hear what he said. And then at one point, he told me to stand up and face the wall, but I didn't hear the face the wall part, so I just like stood up where I was. And then he's like, you just turn that way and face the wall, please. And I'm like, oh, sorry. I was like a little baby in there, lost little baby. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know what I got last time, but I hope it's not. I think I might recognize it if I see it, because I think we still got one of the pipettes. There's one of the pipettes is still up on the bedside cabinet upstairs, which I think has the name on it. So I'll be able to check if it's the same when I've got them. When I've got them, I'll be able to see if it is the same or not. I'm hoping it's not. Or if it is the same, hopefully, I don't know, I just luck out and don't get side effects this time. I don't know. But whatever. It is what it is. I've warned Mia that, like, it's come on quite thick and fast today. So I'm like, I might not be able to pick you up from the station because I don't really want to drive. Like, if it gets much worse than it currently feels, I think I'll be getting into that state where I feel like quite disoriented. And I don't really like not having my wits about me when I drive anyway, you know? Because like even like hearing is important, right? Like I don't even drive with like my music super loud or anything like that, you know? I like to have all my senses available to me, and I'm a bit of an anxious driver anyway. So like I don't really want to be driving if I'm like disorientated and stuff. So yeah, I've warned Mia as well that I might not be able to pick him up tonight, but we'll see. Because he is in the office today, bless him. And I did drop him off to the station. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to bring him back. I don't know. I don't even know, like, Sorry, I was just looking. Well, the dad, thank you for the follow. I have a question. What's the question? It depends what the question is. You know, I haven't had anything yet. I was checking my phone because it did go off, and I'm like, "What is that?" But it was a DM. It was a Discord DM. It's Mia. What's he saying? Hi, TK. I feel that not feeling completely in control when driving is such a horrid feeling. Yeah, I really don't like it. I really don't like it. And like when I was driving home from the station, from dropping Mia off, like it felt really weird because like the best way I don't know, the car just sounded really weird and wrong. The best way I could explain it is like, have you ever been like tailgated by like a noisy motorcycle? Like, have you ever like been driving and you've got like a really noisy motorcycle like right behind you or like right next to you? Like it kind of sounded like that, but muffled. And there wasn't actually a motorcycle behind me, but like just like the normal like road sounds and like, you know, just the normal like vibration of the car and the sound of the engine and that. Like that's kind of what it sounded like, but like in my head. And it wasn't particularly pleasant. It wasn't particularly pleasant, I won't lie. So yeah, I don't know. The doctor did warn me though. He was like, he said what he thought it was. I can't remember what he said now. I'm sorry, chat. I can't repeat it to you. I barely heard him say it in the first place. Like he did say what it was, but he did tell me that it could be that there is a perforation in my ear that he can't see past all the swelling and stuff. So he did say if I put the eardrops in and I feel pain, I have to stop taking them and go back to the doctor to get oral antibiotics. Because he said, whatever it is, he said, there might be a perforation in my ear. And if there's a perforation, then I won't be able to use eardrops. Because, I don't know, it will hurt and not be good. I guess I don't know. I'm not the medical professional, and I didn't ask too many questions because I couldn't hear the answers anyway. So I just nodded along, and I'm like, "Yes, doctor. Thank you, doctor. I will leave you now, doctor." Eardrops will turn into brain drops. Yippee! Oh my god! They'll leak straight into my little brain. What is your favorite character types in what context? That for me would be a very context dependent question. I wouldn't say I have one kind of overarching character type that I prefer. It's very context depending for me. I could be a doctor probably. I bet you could. I bet you could be. You go into TK's doctor's practice with like pain or something. I feel like TK would be the kind of person you would be like, Doc, I got an earache, I don't know what to do, and TK would just like punch you in the stomach or like break your arm or something, and then they'll be like, there you go, now your arm hurts instead of your ear. that would be TK's kind of medical practice. I always say that to Mia, joking around. Like whenever Mia complains about something painful or whatever, I'll be like, "Do you want me to punch you in the nuts?" And he's like, "No, what the fuck, no." And I'm like, "Yeah, but then your tummy won't be in pain anymore." And I'm like, "No, my balls will be in pain instead." And I'll be like, "Yeah, but you won't be thinking about the tummy ache." But he doesn't see it that way, chat. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why he doesn't see it that way. He doesn't agree. He doesn't agree. Hi, Fifi. What's the matter? What's the matter? Do you want uppies? Come here. Let me put my tablet away because we're not drawing right now. Let me put my tablet away. You can have some uppies. It's been a while since you've been home alone without Daddy, hasn't it? Oh dear, are you missing Daddy? Are you missing your big stinky Daddy? Are you missing his big stinky daddy? There we go. Have some Ginga uppies, chat. You know the drill. If tracking or Mike go funky, it's because Cat's in the way. But he's a good boy and he deserves the love. Oh, I can smooch him now for you. Chat, this is Ginka's smooch for you. There you go. I give him a big smooch between the ears for you. He's a baby. Yeah, is that yours? Oh my god, he's like rubbing up on my thumb splint like crazy. Is that all yours now? Yeah? Is that good? Oh my god, he is marking his shit out of that. Yeah, look at you go. He's so silly. He's so silly. Hi. Sorry, chat. I'm distracted now. I was chat. Chat. Are you? Ginga, I need my tracking for this. I need my tracking for this. Do you want to lay down? Do you want to sit or lay down? Yeah, or do you want to be in the way? Do you just want to be in the way? He just wants to be in the way. Hi. What are we doing? I love cats. I was very tired the other day and told Hero, life is a short series of circumstances between Greg's sausage rolls. Oh, I'd love a sausage roll. Well, I do have little pastries. I got some pastry for lunch. I got a couple when I was in Lidl this morning buying the milk. I got a couple of the cheese twist pastry things. That'll be my lunch today. That'll be my lunch. But yeah, I had a brainwave while I was at the doctor's chat. I know it's hard to believe. But I had a brainwave when I was like going to the doctors, and I was like, if there's not like a really big obnoxious queue or anything, nowhere near as good. I know it's not as good, and it's not the same. But you know, it's an treat. It is a treat, and any treat is better than no treat, right? Any treat's better than no treat. Ginga has deposited hairs into my mouth. I got it. Sorry. But yeah, so I had a little brainwave on the way there, and I was like, if there's not like a really like busy, obnoxious queue or something when I come out, I'm gonna ask them a question. And when I came out, there wasn't a queue. So I was like, I went up to reception and she was like, hi, can I help? And I asked the question, chat. I asked about the process for autism assessments. And like I said to her, I was like, you know, like, because I know my doctor's surgery, like you have to phone up for an appointment. Like even if you're in the surgery, you can't book an appointment like with reception. Like you have to do it on the phone. But I asked reception because I was like, you know, and I explained, I was like, you know, it's not really covered by any of the phone options because like the options for my doctors is, you know, if you have an urgent issue and you need a same day appointment, press 1. And if you have like a prescription or like inquiry, press 2. But that's like the only thing it really covers. It covers urgent same day appointments, prescription inquiries, and then there's like another one for like patient transport or home visits, which obviously also isn't relevant. So that's like not really an option. And I've spoken about this on stream before about how like the stickler for rules in me is like, you know, I can't phone up and press 1 because it's not an urgent same day appointment, right? Ginga, please. Do you have to sit right there? Do you? Is that where you need to be? What if I move my camera? Will you conveniently move? What if I move my camera? Then you can stay where you are, and I can still be tracked. Deal? What do you reckon, chat? Do you think he'll move with us? I think he'll move with us. But so yeah, I asked and I explained why I was asking because I was like, you know, none of the options are really valid, and she's like, no, that's no problem. And then the next thing she said, she was like, I've just got to ask you first, are you aware of how long the waiting lists are? And I was like, yes, I am. That was like literally her first question. She was like, "Do you know how long the list is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know it's hell. I know, I know." But it's like, I'm unemployed anyway, and this is potentially a roadblock to me getting back to work. So, might as well start working on it while I'm unemployed anyway, right? So yeah, I asked the question, and the way my surgery do it, I don't know if this is how everyone does it, because like I've looked up online before, like the NHS website for autism, like it does tell you to like speak to your GP to start the process. But the way my surgery do it, she sent me a message. He did move. He did move, so he blocked the camera again. Gingy, you're so cheeky. You're so cheeky. What are we doing? How do you know? How do you know? Ginga's like, if I sit in front of this important thing, Mum will have to give me more attention, right? I'm pretty sure that's for cat logic. Where are we going now? Can you not just lay down? Do we have to sit right in front of the camera? Do we have to? You could be right there but lay down and it wouldn't be a problem. Sorry, chat. It's Ginga time, apparently. It's not Megu time. I hope you guys are here for Ginga and not me. Oh my god, my model's face right now. Ginga, you're ruining my tracking. But yeah, so what she said, she's emailed me a couple links, because the way my surgery do it, I'm just going to talk to you about tracking because I can't move my camera somewhere it's not in the way, apparently, because Ginga's just moving with it. But yeah, so the way they do it is there's 2 different right to choose partners, which I did know about the right to choose service. But when I've read about right to choose before, it's normally a case of, you speak to your GP, you say, I want to be put forward for this. And they say, yeah, we'll put you forward for this, but the wait list is really long. And then you go to the right to choose partners. That's how I've heard it explained before. But my doctors have given me the information for the right to choose partners that they work with. And apparently, Ginka's on the move. Where are we going? He might be leaving us. But yeah, so she told me to read through the information that they sent me, read through both partners that I can work through, decide which one suits me and my needs better. And then there's a form on there that I can fill out and apply to, and then yeah, then I can't remember. I can't remember what she said, but like basically I had to look at these things first, and then I have to pick one, fill out the form, and then when that form gets processed and stuff, then I go back to my doctors to see them when that form's been processed. So I haven't looked at forms yet or done anything with it because, like I say, like this morning's kind of been all go, and I need some time to myself. Time to myself, I say, on stream. But, this is still kind of time to myself, But yeah, I just wanted some downtime because I've been rushing around all morning. So I haven't looked at it yet. Plus, like, I do feel quite sick at the moment. So it's probably not the best time to be reading through big chunks of information and filling out forms and stuff. But I've asked the question and I actually have next steps now. So I'm really proud of myself for being brave enough to ask. I know it probably sounds like silly to some people. Like, oh, well done, you asked a question. Like, big deal. Like, I know it probably sounds like petty or like insignificant to some people, but like I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself, even if no one else is. I'm proud of myself for like having the balls to like actually ask. Thanks to get both tested. Yeah. She didn't mention how long the lists are, but I'm guessing even in Megu Town, the process is a mess because, like I say, the first thing she did say was, "Are you aware about the waiting list?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So obviously, I'm not under any illusion of it like happening quickly or anything. I know it is something that can take literal years. Years is not an exaggeration. You know, I know it is something that can take a long time. But like I said, I'm at a point where I'm unemployed at the moment anyway, and I feel I'm going to remain unemployable for the foreseeable. So I might as well do something. You know, I might as well do something about it. I got time. I got time. Like, all the time I've procrastinated not doing anything about it is time I could have been on the list waiting. You know, like it's silly in a way that I've left it as long as I did. But I don't know, it just felt really hard to ask the question, you know? And like I've had to like do some soul searching, like, because I wasn't sure, like, even when I came to the conclusion that I was pretty certain I'm autistic, like, even when I came to that conclusion, I didn't immediately think to myself, like, I got to get myself tested, you know? And for a while, I didn't think I really needed it. I still kind of don't know if I need it 100%, but I think it would be nice. I think I've got more to benefit from it than I've got to lose from it, you know? So I think it is something I do want to pursue. And yeah, I finally got around to asking a question and starting the process. It says in Megu areas over a year minimum, but there was the waiting time for 3 months. Okay, that's fair. Peace of mind is the main thing. That's the thing. Like, it's like most days, like, I'm pretty confident in my like self-assessment, you know, and I don't really care like for knowing, but like on those days, you know, you get those like bad mental days and stuff, you know. And like there's always that little seed of doubt of like, what if I'm not autistic, you know? And it's like the whole situation with like my mum as well, for example. Like, I don't think she like obviously I've already talked about my experience with my mum before. Like, I tried bringing it up to her once. It did not go well, and that got shoved in a box and put under the trauma stairs and left. But like, I feel like if I get an actual proper diagnosis, you know, then she can't argue back, right? And then I feel like I'll be able to be like a bit more firm with like my needs and my boundaries with mum. Do you think you'll? Yeah, I will tell. If I get diagnosed, I will tell her, Toru. I don't plan to tell her that I'm like going for diagnosis. I don't intend to tell her what my plans are. But if I do get the diagnosis, I do want to tell her. I do want to tell her if I do get the diagnosis. Because, like, I feel like then she'll have to listen to me, right? Like, she can't just... Because obviously last time she asked... well, not asked. Last time I tried talking about it, like, she just shot me down straight away. Like, yeah, there's no way. Like, there's no way you could be autistic. And just shut me down, you know? So there's no point trying to talk to her beforehand because like I know I can't remember exactly what she said now because obviously that was a couple years ago almost, so I can't remember exactly what she said now because it's been a while and you know it's really upsetting at the time, so I kind of shoved those feelings down and forgot about them. But the things she did say in retaliation to prove that I couldn't be autistic were like very misconceived stereotypes of autism. So like it's like you're dismissing it like instantly, but like you clearly don't even know what it is. You know, it's like, how can you dismiss it when you clearly don't even know? Because like she just went to like the extreme of like, you know, well, you don't have meltdowns, so you can't be autistic. But like a lot of people think like an autistic meltdown is like laying on the floor, kicking, crying, screaming and stuff like that, you know? Like a lot of people, like if you say autistic meltdown, like they think like the very extreme end of the behavior. And like meltdowns can like they can present that way in some autistic people. It can happen. But like for a lot of people, an autistic meltdown isn't like all bells and whistles. You know, for some of them, like shutting down and going nonverbal is part of their meltdown and stuff, you know. Like people have different ways of handling like things, and not every like and it's like I did mention like at the time as well, I did mention possible ADHD, and she went straight to the, well, that can't be you because you're not hyperactive. But again, like that's a very like, and I know why it's kind of misconstrued that way, because like it literally has hyperactivity in the name. But again, that's a very common misconception with ADHD, is that ADHD, like people with ADHD, you know, they're just hyperactive balls of energy that won't sit down and stuff, you know. But there's actually a lot more to ADHD and autism as well. Like there's a lot more to it than that. But yeah, she just like shut it down on like really basic, extreme and misinformed like perceptions is what she shut me down on. So like, I really don't want to broach the subject and like try speaking to her about it and stuff, because I just don't think it would get anywhere. But if I do get a diagnosis, like she can't refute it at that point, you know. If I've gone through the proper channels and stuff and it's been properly investigated and they have decreed, yes, you do be autistic, here's your autism certificate or whatever. I don't know what happens. Like, do you get like documentation to prove it or something? I don't really know what happens. I'm starting the process, not ending it. So I don't really know what happens, but like, I feel like when it's official, you know, then I can say to her, look, I told you I was autistic, and she's not going to be able to refute it at that point, you know? Because I will have done all the necessary stuff, spoken to the correct professionals and everything, and been deemed that thing. Like, she can't argue it at that point, right? And then, like I say, like I feel like that will put me in a better position mentally to, like, be more assertive with, like, my needs and my boundaries. Because, like, at the moment, I can't really do that, you know? Because, like, oh, what are you being so stupid for? You know, like it's like a lot of my like behaviors and needs at the moment are like very much like diminished and belittled, and like I don't, you know, from the perspective of someone who, you know, insists I'm normal, I don't have a good reason to feel the way I feel about things, you know. But from the perspective of an autistic person, you know, there's very valid and real reasons to feel the way I do about things. So yeah, I do intend to bring up to her, like if I do get tested and they do confirm it and I do get diagnosed, I do intend to tell her, because then I feel like I will be able to like better kind of stand up for myself and stuff. Because at the moment it feels like if I even dare say, you know, like, well, you know, I'm acting this way because I think I'm autistic, and then it's just going to bring up the argument again, like, no, you're not autistic, we've been through this. You're normal. Like, it's just not worth the time and energy to like deal with her like when she gets like that. But I feel like I'll be able to if I get a proper diagnosis, because she can't refute it at that point. Like, what, are you gonna go to my doctors and tell them they're wrong? Like, what are you gonna do about it? You know, what are you gonna do about it, sort of thing. So yeah, I do plan to tell her, but it probably won't be for a while yet, because, you know, waiting lists. But, you know, I don't have a couple £1,000 spare, so a waiting list it'll be a waiting list, because, you know, I figure even if it takes a while on the waiting list, you know, doing something leads to something, right? Even if it takes a long time, if I do something about it, then eventually something will happen. Whereas all the time I sit here doing nothing about it, nothing's ever going to happen. And I'm just getting further and further away from any kind of potential diagnosis all the time I don't do anything about it. So, yeah, we finally started today. I feel really happy with myself. I'll probably, I'm not going to lie, like when I actually look at the forms and stuff, I'll probably feel quite overwhelmed and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see what it's like. I don't know. As I say, I haven't really looked at it yet because it's already been a morning. But yeah, I'm officially starting the process, and I'm actually really proud of myself and really happy. Anyway, sorry, I've been rambling. Let me have a little scroll up because I've seen you guys are replying to me, and I haven't been replying straight away. I had to get the thoughts out. I had to get the thoughts out all in one go. I just had to. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go back and look. I'm gonna go back and look. You joke, but I think that's a genuine medical theory, distracting the body from one type of pain with another. Yeah, I think it's legit, right? It's gotta work. Not gonna lie, if you punched him in the nuts, his tummy might hurt even more. Okay, yeah, maybe the tummy was a bad example. Maybe the tummy was a bad example. Because I think when Mia's talked to me before about what it's like to get punched in the nuts, like, I think he has mentioned that it just like makes like his whole tummy hurt and stuff. I think he said before, like, I think the way he explained it before, like, correct me if I'm wrong, lads, but I think the way he explained it to me before is like, it feels like your nuts go like, it feels like they go back up inside you, and like the pain just like goes right up, like through your abdomen, sort of thing. That's how he's explained it to me before. I can't verify on account of not being a nut haver. I don't have nuts, so I can't verify what it feels like. But I'm pretty sure that's what he's told me before. Congrats, question mark, on your soon-to-be diagnosis. Saying it 4 years early. Yeah. Literally, Toru. And what's the first thing she said? She was like, you do know about the waiting list? Like, do you know about the waiting list? And I was like, yes, I know. She was probably glad. She was probably glad I did know, because she probably would have had to explain it if I'd said no. Or like, I don't know, maybe it's like a fielding question. Maybe they're like, you know, please say you won't bother if there's a waiting list. I don't know. Maybe it's like an obstacle to try and like cut down people even trying. I don't know. But I was like, yeah, no, that's fine. So she gave me the deets. I can say a lot of the easier ways to tell if you're autistic is to look at your family, you know. It's hereditary. I don't have any autistic diagnosed family members, but my brother does have dyspraxia, which is another neurological illness. Does it class as an illness? I don't disability. I don't know what it classes as. This is new to me. But yeah, so my brother and a couple of my cousins as well have dyspraxia and dyslexia. I do see a lot of my issues in my mum. I'm pretty sure she is also autistic. But that is not a conversation she is ready or willing to have. Because like there's always been things like, you know, like the way she processes her own emotions and stuff, you know, her texture aversion to meat, which is like purely a texture sensory thing. She's very like touch sensitive about like, you know, like certain fabrics and stuff like that. Like she also has a lot of suspicious traits. But yeah, I don't think she's ever been formally tested or anything. I don't think she's ever even considered it, to be honest. And as I say, it's not something I'm willing to bring up to her. Like, I think I'm autistic, and you might be too. So yeah, I don't have any like officially. I can't speak for my father's side of the family because like, I've been estranged to my father since I was like 5 or 6 years old. So like, I genuinely don't know like any medical history from my dad's side of the family, because yeah, I've never known him, and him and his family have never liked me anyway. So it's not like I could even reach out for help if I wanted to. So I can't speak for the other side, but on the grounds that there are, fair enough, not autism, but like there are already some like different neurodiverse conditions within like direct family that I do know, you know, and like I know it's not guaranteed, you know, like if you have autism, you have X, Y, and Z too. Like I know it's not a guaranteed thing, but it is quite common that they do like coexist with like other things, you know, like it is quite common if you have one neurodiverse trait, like you do often, not always, but you can often have like more than one, you know, you can be autistic and dyspraxic or dyslexic or something like that as well. You know, you can have autism and ADHD, like you can have more than one. It's always great having parents who don't believe in mental illness. Isn't it the best, Chloe? Isn't it? She was literally so rude to me when I tried like telling her about it. She just shot me straight down like really aggressively. But she did the same thing with. Well, she was kind of. I say the same thing. It was a similar thing, but like way worse. But yeah, she did a similar thing where like my brother tried to come out as trans, and she kind of blew up on that too. So unfortunately for my brother, he has also put those feelings in a box under the trauma stairs. I fully expect that box to open back up again when Mum's passed away. I don't think it will come out into the open any time before then. I genuinely don't think it will ever come out in Mum's lifetime. But I fully expect that to like come out again when Mum's gone, whenever that may be, and I'll fully support him in that, you know. If he does bring it up again, then that's a-okay with me, you know. He's my brother, I love him, you know. I'll love him as my sister if he wants to be a sister, you know. Like he's just a person at the end of the day, you know. Like it doesn't change anything. But unfortunately my mum didn't see that the same way either. But yeah, my brother's just kind of in the same position I am with like the autism thing. It's kind of like, you know, it's just not worth trying to like force the issue kind of thing, because she's just like that she's like your typical, like she's like what, like I can't remember how old she is. I know she's in her 60s. I think she's like early to mid 60s, and she is kind of like your typical like older person, you know. She's very stuck in her ways and stuff, you know. She's one of those people, like, I'm not racist, but she says and does racist things, you know, because like she doesn't necessarily see what she's doing as racist, even as it is. I don't like rap. I'm skipping whatever this is. You know, she's got a lot of very narrow worldviews and stuff, unfortunately. And she's just the type of person, you know, I'm all for trying to like educate people, but sometimes you've just got to take the L, you know. Sometimes you've just got to admit defeat and just accept that you're not going to change that person's mentality on something. And it just wouldn't. It wouldn't be worth trying to fight her over it. It's just not. It's not worth the it's not worth the effort. Sorry, wrong word. You know how you know the saying like happy wife, happy life, you know? That like Mum's kind of like that, you know. It's just like we just like ignore the problems and we just, you know, because like it's just not worth it. Like it's just easier and happier if you just kind of don't bring up the problems and stuff. I know it's probably not the right way or the ideal way to deal with things, but you know, I've only got so much energy to do shit, man. And my energy reserves don't include enough energy to battle my mum. I just don't have that much. I'm pretty sure mine is that non-verbal shutdown one. I completely withdraw to try and process things in my own brain. Not all autistic people even have meltdowns. Some people just crash out instead where they go non-verbal. Or just... Yeah, exactly. And like that's the thing. Like she just like instantly went like, no, you can't be because you don't do that. And I think she was like in her head, I think like she considers an autistic meltdown, you know, she's thinking of like, okay, I'm going to preface this by saying this is not my opinion, okay? This is not my opinion. This is what my mum's kind of stereotype is. I'm not saying this is how everyone is or anything. This isn't my views. But like, I think in my mum's mental image, like she's thinking of that kind of child. Like she's thinking of a child that like is older than they mentally act and stuff, you know. She's thinking of someone that's already like severely developmentally challenged and they're having a breakdown in the middle of the shopping center, just laying on the floor, kicking and screaming and wailing, you know, like that's what my mum is like sees. Like if you say autistic to mum, like that's what she's, you know, when people do the whole like, oh, you don't look autistic, like that's my mum. My mum's one of those, like she thinks to be autistic you have to look autistic, you know, which obviously, again, isn't the case at all. That is like a very misguided misconception. Like, there isn't a look to autism. Like, you know, it's not like, you know, it's not like how you can tell if someone's had a stroke because half their face is like slumped down or something like that, you know? It's not something like, you know, like, I don't know. I don't know any examples, but yeah, like it's not something that has like a definitive look or anything, you know. But my mum is unfortunately very much well, you don't look autistic and you don't act autistic, so you can't be. But she is only thinking of very negative kind of stereotypes that, quite frankly, aren't even correct stereotypes. I think I'm the same. Like I don't think I have autistic meltdowns, but I definitely shut down, and I always have. Like, even I can trace it right back to being a kid, like the way I will like shut down when like dealing with stuff, like when everything gets too much, I will just shut down, and I can't think about my problems. I can't talk about them. I can't do anything. Like I will literally just shut myself away. Like, and I don't want to watch a video. I don't want to listen to music. Like I don't want any kind of input for anything. Like I just shut down completely. Like, and I need that time to just be shut down for a while, you know, before I reboot, and then I'm ready to talk about the problem and stuff. Like, I have this problem with Mia all the time, because like Mia is the kind of person, and obviously this isn't like, I'm not bashing Mia with this because obviously it's a very natural and normal thing to do, but Mia's very much the kind of person that, like, if he can tell something's wrong with me, he'll be like, are you okay? What's wrong? And like in my head, I just want to be left alone for a bit because I'm not in that place yet, you know, like I haven't come to terms with my own feelings yet. And like, I don't want to like lash out or say anything I'll regret or anything like that. I also don't have the energy to like break down about it right now, talking about it and stuff. Like I need to be left alone, you know? When I'm really going through it and I'm really dealing with something, like I need a period where I'm just left alone. But Mia is unfortunately the complete opposite. And Mia's very much, are you okay? Are you okay? What's wrong? I can tell something's wrong. No, tell me. No, you can't do this to me. You have to tell me what's wrong. No, because I know you're sad now. I can't just leave you. And like, he doesn't want to leave me. But like, that's what I need, you know? Like I need that time. I'm not saying this again. I'm not saying this to bash Mia or anything, but like I kind of hope that like maybe if I get an autism diagnosis as well, like I think it would be potentially easier to like be more assertive with Mia about some things he does and like ways he treats me as well, because I'm not saying he treats me bad. Like, he doesn't treat me bad. Like, don't get this the wrong way. Like, I'm not saying he treats me poorly or anything, because he doesn't, but he treats me very differently. And like, I don't know, it's just hard to make him see my point of view sometimes, you know? Whereas like, if again, I just feel like it would be easier, like if I have like a proper diagnosis, like, I don't know, I feel like it has more weight to it, you know? And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like maybe it's wrong. I might still not have any balls when it comes to it. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like it will maybe allow me to be like more assertive about like my needs and stuff. Because it's like, I always complain to Mia about like, because like one thing I really hate, I hate changes in plans and stuff, you know? And like, I had this argument with Mia all the time because like it happened literally like a couple days ago, literally like not yesterday, day before, Wednesday evening, this happened. Because Mia told me that he was in the office Thursday, Friday this week, and he would need me to take him to the station. So in my head, Wednesday evening, I'm thinking, we got to go to bed earlier tonight so that we wake up earlier and we go to the station, you know? That's what I'm thinking mentally. And then, like, Mia's streaming, which is fine. But then, like, I think it got to, like, midnight, and, like, he's still streaming. And, like, I went into his stream, and I was like, I did, like, his little mod say thing where it does, like, the TTS from the mods. And I was like, just checking, like, you know, like, are we not supposed to be going to bed soon? Like, are you gonna wrap up stream soon? Because of, like, The Office? And then, like, he turns around on stream, and, like, deadass is just like, oh, no, it's fine, I'm not going in. I'm not going in tomorrow now. I'm only doing Friday. And I'm like, sat there, I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Like, you obviously know what your plans are. Like, please, just tell me. Like, I need to know, man. I need to know. But, like, he just, like, changes plans and stuff. And then he'll be like, oh, by the way, we're doing this. And I'm like, what? It just throws me. He'll do it sometimes on, like, Saturdays, where, like, in my head, we're just going grocery shopping, you know, like that's what I'm mentally psyched up for and prepared for, you know. And I'm like, you know, go shopping, get shopping done, come home, easy peasy. And then like we'll be getting into the car, and me is like, oh, I need to go to the pharmacy, by the way. And I'm just like, like, and I know to a lot of people it probably doesn't sound like a big deal, but like the supermarket we go to is like out of the city, you know. Whereas, like, to get to his pharmacy, like, I need to go in the opposite direction, you know? Like, I go to the end of my road and turn left to go to the supermarket, you know? Whereas, if we need to go to the pharmacy too, I have to go to the end of my road and go right. And I know that probably sounds like a non-issue, but, like, it just adds, like, a whole extra step to things, you know? And then it's not anywhere with, like, a car park or anything. It's, like, all on-street parking. And stuff. So it's like, you know, then I got to drive there, and then we got to try and find a parking space, and then he's got to, you know, walk however far it is from where we've managed to get parked to the pharmacy, and then like, you know, obviously depending if there's a queue or whatever, you know, he's waiting in there and stuff, and like it's just, again, I know, like, to anyone that doesn't have this struggle, it might sound like really petty and like it might sound like a nothing burger of an issue to a lot of people, but like it's a big deal to me, you know. It's just like, because like I like often, like, you know, I've psyched myself up for shopping, you know, like that's kind of all I've got in me, you know. So like just like throwing an extra task on stuff is like, oh, actually we're doing this too, and I'm just like, whoa. Like it throws me for a fucking loop, man, and I hate that it fucking destabilizes me so bad. Like, I hate the way it just like derails my mood and my energy so fucking badly, but it really does. And like it will literally just fuck me for the entire day. It will fuck me for the entire day. But yeah, he did that a couple nights ago, because I thought we were going into the office Thursday and Friday, but then I find out at like midnight on the Thursday, you know, oh no, I'm not actually going in, it's fine. And like I did say to him, I was like, you need to tell me this. And he's like, no, I just decided just now. And I'm like, oh my God. But it's like, I feel like I can't refuse to do it, because like, I know it saves him money, and I cost him a lot of money because, you know, like single income family and stuff. So it's like, I feel like I can't really in good conscience, like, reject him, you know, but I wish he would just be more like steadfast in his plans, you know. Like, if you decide you're going to do something, just commit to it, you know. Just commit to it. I can't handle the flip flop changing of plans. I just can't. I can't do it, chat. I made a really good cup of tea this morning, chat. Sorry, I am scrolling down. I'm reading your message. I'm not reading necessarily everything out loud, but I am reading all your messages. Mental health isn't real to a lot of those older generations, sadly. Yeah. It fucking sucks, man. Hi, Orkin. How you doing? Sorry, I've been yapping for a while. You said hello a little while ago. I'm sorry. I've been caught up yapping, but hello. How you doing? Are you wearing the maid dress again? You better be wearing that maid dress, Orkin. I want you to know that is my new Orkin headcanon. Maid Orkin is now canon. I'm sorry. He is as canon as Catboy Hero to me. Maid Orkin is canon. You will not change my mind. Don't even try. I mean, just because they're not diagnosed doesn't mean they're not autistic, given it wasn't even known about until 7. I saw a video, like, don't dismiss this just because I'm going to say it was on TikTok, right? Don't dismiss it just for being on TikTok. But I saw a really interesting video on that recently because, like, it was someone, like, because, like, people like to throw that around a lot these days, don't they? Like, oh, everyone's diagnosed as autistic these days. Everyone's diagnosed as ADHD these days. Like, well, why is it people never used to be diagnosed so much as that? Why is it when... And the person was like, it's because literally, like, back in, like, and we're not even going back super duper far here. Like, I can't remember what year, like, what decade it was going back to now. But, like, it technically wasn't that long ago. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that long ago where, like, children who, like, exhibited, like, autistic behaviors and that were literally deemed psychotic and sectioned. There was a large population of, like, people who were probably actually just autistic, and they were treated like they were insane and locked in mental hospitals. Doesn't mean it didn't exist. Doesn't mean it didn't exist, man. But, like, they like to, like, fucking do that, don't they? Like, oh, everyone thinks they're autistic these days. Oh, and I hate that, like, everyone's a little bit autistic. Like, no, shut the fuck up. Maybe I don't get a place to say that yet because I'm not officially diagnosed. But, like, shut the fuck up with that noise, man. Fucking hate that. Like, oh, everyone's a little bit autistic. It's like when people are, oh my god, I'm so OCD, and, like, they're not actually OCD. It's just that they like their books lined up alphabetically, and it's just, I mean, I'm so OCD about how my books are displayed. And it's like, that's not OCD. Shut up. I fucking hate people, man. I'm pretty sure my mom's autistic. She has a lot of weird quirks and anger issues. Yeah, mine too, Chloe. Mine too. But she is definitely not ready for that conversation. How does the ear feel, Megu? Not great, but not awful. It's thankfully, it's not the kind of ear infection. It's not giving me constant pain. I wasn't able to sleep with my earplug in last night. I had to have my earplug out in that ear because it's swollen up enough that, like, I couldn't even get the earplug in. And I figured it probably would be detrimental to try and jam it in there. So I just slept without the earplug in there last night. So it is swollen, and it's, like, it's weird because, like, my hearing is really muffled. And it's, like, kind of, like, all that kind of area, like, even, like, on my left cheek and, like, the side of my face and stuff, like, it just feels swollen and warm and weird. So I'm thankful that, touch wood, thankfully it's not, like, the kind of earache that's, like, agonizingly painful. It's not, like, constant pain or anything, which is good. But there is definitely a problem. There is definitely a problem, but it's thankfully not the worst problem it could be. It's not an inner ear infection, so it's not like it's affecting, like, my eardrum or anything. Like, it is, like, I forget what it's called. He did say it, but I didn't hear him properly when he said it. And I had to ask him to repeat it, and then he told me again, and then I sort of heard it, but I've forgotten it. But yeah, it's not like an inner ear infection, which is, like, the worst. So it's not, like, super fucking me over at the moment. And touch wood, it doesn't seem to be feeling worse yet. So we'll just pray it stays that way. We'll just pray it stays like that, because it's not too bad at the moment, you know. There's definitely a problem. I think, to be fair, if I left it longer, it probably would become a bigger problem, because it does feel very similar to how my ear felt back in December. except not as painful. But I know my ear did get really painful last year when I had that ear infection. And this does very much feel the same to begin with, you know, which is why I didn't want to fuck around and like keep leaving it to see if it got better on its own. I didn't want to do that this time because we did end up being really rough last year with an ear infection. So I wasn't taking the chances this year. So hopefully I've nipped it in the bud. Hopefully I've caught it before it gets like too bad or debilitating. I think that's unfortunately what quite a lot of people hold to the stereotype due to how autism was explained to people via television programs in the 90s. Yeah, unfortunately, Toru. Yeah. I think as well, like when I can't remember what year, like when was Big Bang Theory current? Like I think Big Bang Theory did a lot of damage to autistic people too, because like people will be like, oh, but you don't act like Sheldon, because like Sheldon from the Big wait, who is it Sheldon? I think that was his name. I can't remember. I was never a big fan of Big Bang, but like he's autistic, isn't he? And I feel like again, like he is. I'm not saying no one autistic acts that way. I'm sure there are people that do, but again, like I feel like he's a very like stereotypical presentation of autistic people. And again, but like because the Big Bang Theory was so big and well known, like a lot of people again had that misconception. They're like, oh, isn't that what Sheldon has in Big Bang Theory? But you don't act like Sheldon does, because like people just don't understand that like how differently it can present itself against like there's no one set of criteria. Like that's why it is called a spectrum, is because of how varied it can be and how it presents itself and stuff. You know, some people have a lot more autistic traits than others and stuff. Like there's so much variety to it, but like it's quite nuanced. And I guess if you're not even trying to learn, it's very easy to miss. So people just like rely on what little they know about it. But unfortunately, like the widespread, well-known representation of autism isn't necessarily good representation or knowledgeable representation of it. My dad for everything. You don't look depressed. Just smile, or I will give you a reason. Oh my god! I just do something that makes you happy. If you're sad, just do things that make happy. Actually, there's not a Twitch friendly way I can respond to that. there's yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna say my feelings on that because I don't think it's very Twitch appropriate and I don't want to be banned. But yeah, I know what you mean, Orkin, and it fucking sucks. Hero's very much the same to me. I just tell him not now, and he kind of understands. Mia kind of doesn't really. Like, he kind of does, but like, I don't know. I feel like the part of him that needs to know is stronger, sort of thing. You know, I don't know if that's a good way to explain it. But yeah, Mia's not so good at the leaving me alone to process things bit. He's not so good at that. The Google Doc. My experience with Mia Riley. I was surprised he was streaming. Yeah, I was surprised as well, Kin. That's why I like slid in there, like, what doing? Are you gonna go to bed? And then he said he wasn't, and I'm just like, buh. Sometimes when you talk about these things, it makes you think, am I? I isolate and go non-verbal when I get too upset over something. I also hate when plans get changed last second or I wasn't told. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say you are or you aren't. But from what I have learned, like doing my own research into autism, and also like learning how a lot of the people that I do like and gravitate towards are also autistic, like there is a lot of overlap. And it is very common that like I've seen people joke that there's like you know how people say like gay people have a gaydar and like they can tell gay people without even knowing, like that, like I've seen people say there's like I can't remember if it's got a funny name like gaydar or not, but like I have seen people say it's like similar for like neurodivergent people, like they do attract like-minded types. So like, I'm not going to sit here and say you are or you aren't, but like you could be, like there's a potential. And like definitely like do your own research if you think you might be, or don't. Like you might not want, like if you don't want to, or like you don't feel the need to or whatever, that's also completely valid. For me, I started noticing the traits and stuff, and I was like, hang on a minute. And like because like people directly like asked me as well, like I've said before on stream, like the reason I initially started thinking about it was because I had multiple people like actually ask me like, oh, are you autistic too? And I'm like, what? No, I'm not autistic, I'm just a little silly. But then like enough people said it and I'm like, am I autistic? Like, huh? Because like a lot of people just know, like, and like similar to like how like neurotypical people just know there's something different about you and they just don't like you, you know? It's the same. Like neurotypical people will like naturally be like a magnet, you know, like they're naturally like opposed to you, like they'll naturally push away. But neurotypical people naturally like attract and find each other. That does seem to be how it goes a lot of time. I'm not saying that's every interaction, but like it does seem to be that way a lot of times apparently. And it's like I see myself in like some other people and stuff, and like I think of like people I really like and enjoy and stuff. Like I have joked to me actually. You maybe shouldn't joke about this. I don't know. I might get in trouble for saying this. I don't know. I'm sorry in advance if this is offensive. But I've joked to Mia so many times. I'm like, I think you're just like attracted to autism. I'm like, I think you're just like rhythmed by the tism. And like Mia's questioned me before, and it's been like, no, I don't think so. Like it's just a coincidence. But then it's like, you look at the people, like look at Mia's VTuber besties and stuff, and I'm not saying everyone Mia is friends with is autistic, but like a lot of them are. And like you look at like some of his big besties, you know, you look at Safi, Chew. Also Kin now has joined the club. Congratulations, Kin, by the way. I see your cute little name in their chat. Congratulations, Kin. I hope your official diagnosis helps. I hope you get what you need from it, Kin. I genuinely do. But like we were talking about it the other day, and Mia he actually did say to her, he was like, I think you might be right. This was like later on in the day when you did get the news, Kin. Mia did actually say to me later on, he was like, I think you might be right. And I'm like, wait, what? Right about what? Because like, I'd like forgotten. And he's like, Kin got her autism diagnosis. And I'm like, yeah. And then it like dawned on me. I was like, told ya. Because like he loves Safi, he loves Kin, he loves Chew. And like there's a very common denominator between those three. I'm not officially diagnosed, but I have very big suspicions. And I have been peer reviewed by people. And he loves me too. So I'm like, yeah, I think for better or worse, I think the tism does it for you. The Tisla. Oh dear. You had the spoons for the shop, not the pharmacy. Now you're going to be, yeah, exactly, Toru. Exactly. And like, he doesn't get it. And like, whenever I complain about it, Mia's always like, oh, it's just a pharmacy. Like, it won't take that long. And I'm like, it doesn't matter how long it will take. It's just the fact that plans have changed. It's like when mum wants to like go to the shops or something, you know, like if she tells me we're going to B&M and Lidl today, that's fine. Like I've got no problem with going to B&M and Lidl. But then if we've done B&M and Lidl and then on the drive home, she's like, oh, I just want to stop off at, you know, X other shop, then I'm annoyed. I'm just instantly annoyed because like in my head, we came to do B&M and Lidl. We've done B&M and Lidl, and now we're driving home. And it's like, what do you mean you want to go to Home Bargains too? What do you mean we're driving to Home Bargains now? It's home time. We did the things. We did what we came here for. Why are we going somewhere else? I hate it. It drives me insane. I can't handle it. I literally cannot handle it. We need to scream at him more about communication. I'm so tired of screaming at him. It's like, you know he doesn't listen. You know he doesn't listen. If I'm lucky, he might come to a realization 8 months down the line and go, you might be right, actually. But the boy doesn't listen. These things are huge issues and people don't understand how big of an issue it can be. We need to structure it. We need to have a schedule. Yeah, like it's so bad not to know. Like I've had to like drill it into my mum, and eventually she did start listening because there would be so many times. Like, I don't know if you know or not, Chloe, but basically every Monday I visit my mum's for like just like a social visit. I go around from like 12 to 4, spend a few hours with her, and like there were so many times I would go around there and I would think I'm just going around there to like, you know, sit in the living room, have some cup of teas and a chit chat and stuff. And then I'd get round there and then she'd be like, oh, I want to go to the shops, by the way. And then she wants to go into town and go to like 4 different shops in town. And like, I'm not mentally prepared to do that, you know? I'm not necessarily like, this is another thing as well. Like if I have to go out, like I'll wear like whatever around the house, you know, I don't care. But like if I'm going out, like I will be very particular about what shoes I wear, you know? Because like there's some shoes that like if I'm just walking for like 5 minutes to the corner shop or whatever, I'll put whatever shoe on, you know, I don't really care. But if I'm going to be like walking, I'll wear different shoes, you know, like I wouldn't necessarily wear the same trousers and shoes to like go into town round all the shops as I would for like nipping to the corner shop sort of thing, you know. I don't know if that makes sense, but I have different shoes and clothes to different situations, you know. So, like, it really fucks me up when I'm, like... If I'm, like, at mum's already and I'm not wearing my walk all around town shoes, like, I know I'm going to be miserable because I know I'm going to end up... My feet are going to be aching and stuff. Like, I know this is going to make me sound really fucking elderly, but, like, I love my Vans and I do like them a lot. But, like, they're just not comfortable for me anymore. Like, they're far too flat. They're too flat and they don't offer enough, like... structure and support that my aging feet need. I can happily wear them. Like if I'm just gonna be like popping to the shop or something, I can wear them. If I'm like going into town with Mia to go to the cinema or something, I could wear them for stuff like that because I know I'm not going to be walking around constantly. But like, I think I did bring my Vans to London. But I wore them literally one day, ruined my feet and went, fuck. And then every other day in London, I wore my boots because they were just bigger and comfier. Like, yes, dude, I love my Vans, but fuck wearing them all day. So true, Toru, so true. Like, they're good. Like, I love my Vans and they're cool and they're comfortable for short term. Or like, if you're just like, you know, if you're somewhere out and about, but you're going to be sat down, like I could wear Vans to like a restaurant or somewhere, you know, like if I'm going to be like sat down for more time than I'm stood up, you know, like if I'm going to be driving and then sat down in the cinema and then sat down in Five Guys after getting a burger or whatever, I'll wear my Vans because they're comfy and cute for stuff like that. But if I'm like gonna be like traipsing all around the shops and stuff, I'm not wearing them. I straight up would not wear them because they're uncomfortable for shit like that. So yeah, I hate it when someone just like springs something suddenly on me because like I literally might not be wearing the right clothes for the moment, and then I just know I'm gonna just be in like physical and mental pain the entire time. It fucking sucks. That's one thing I really struggled with in my last job as well. And like my last job that I did work, this was like before I was streaming and stuff, and before I'd had any kind of like revelation on like, man, am I autistic? This was before anything that would happen, but it's one of those things that like in hindsight would make a lot of sense. Because like I always really struggled to do that in my last job as well, because the job I was doing when I started there was fine. The job I started at was fine because I didn't have to rely on anyone else to do anything for me. It wasn't something where like ad hoc surprise things could come in or anything like that. I just had a set job that I had to do, and I could just work through the queue chronologically. And I always knew exactly where I was, I always knew, I could see how big the queue was, and I knew nothing would like come in that would be like more important than something else in the queue or whatever. Like I can't properly explain it because like, I don't want to dox myself, and also it was like military work, so I can't super talk about it in detail, but like it was a very orderly job, like everything had a way to do it, and it was very regimented and orderly, and I liked that. And then I ended up taking over someone else's job within the same position. And if that job had worked the same way as the previous job did, it wouldn't have been as bad. But the trouble was, the position I went to, like basically the first position I did in that job, I basically just dealt with like expense claims. So like I would just work through them in order, because like we had like a window of like however many weeks they had to get their expense claim in and processed. Nothing was more urgent than another thing, everything would get processed within that window, and we just did them chronologically in order. Like it was fine. But then the job I moved on to afterwards, this was in the same company and the same office and everything, just a different role. But the role I took on after that, I dealt with like reports instead. But one thing I really struggled with that was because like a lot of times like I would get a report come through, and then I've got an admiral's PA coming in the office and standing at my desk and saying, I've just sent you a report for so and so, like this needs to be done now. And like I could be in the middle of doing something, I could be in the middle of stuff, but then if an admiral says you do my shit now, you do his shit now. Like you can't tell the admiral, no, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait your turn in queue, sir. Like you don't tell an admiral of the Navy to wait his fair turn. If he says that shit happens now, that shit's got to happen now. I've got to drop everything I'm doing and do his shit instead. And like I struggled with that so bad. That was one of the things I hated most about that job. Because like it felt like I could never properly plan my day or anything, whereas like the tasks I was doing previously, like I could have a plan in my day. I knew exactly what I'd be doing, how I was going to do it, and everything. It was consistent and reliable, and I liked it. Whereas in the newer position, like I couldn't rely on anything. Like anything could change at a day's notice. Like it was ridiculous. Military, thank you for I wasn't actually military. I was just like oh, what's it called? I was a contractor. I was just like a contracted administrator. So I didn't actually work for the military. I wasn't actually employed by the Royal Navy. I was just like hired from like a contract firm that did their administration. I wasn't even technically a civil servant, Yumi. I was hired by like an company that just outsourced their people. So like, I didn't even get like civil servant perks or anything. I was just a private sector administrator working on a base where everyone else had way more perks than I did. Honestly, that's one thing. Like, if I ever do get another job, I don't know if I ever will, to be honest. I don't know if I ever will work a normal job again. I genuinely don't know at this point. But like, if I do ever get a job again, do you know what I want, chat? I want a job where I work for the company, because most of the jobs I've had, like my last two jobs, one of them I was there like almost 9 years, and then the other one I was there for 2.5 years. So like for like the last kind of 10, well, just over 10 years of working history, the last two companies I worked for have both been like kind of like outsourcing arrangements. So like I work for company name, and then I work on site at a different company's premises. And those don't get those jobs, chat. Those jobs, in my experience at least, are the fucking worst, because like you end up having to play by two different sets of rules for starters, which is really fucking annoying, because the company that actually hires you has all their own rules and their own pay and structure and stuff like that. But then you also have to abide by the rules and stuff in the office that you're contracted to work in. So, for example, I used to work for a car leasing... Well, I used to work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, sorry. I used to work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And Enterprise was the company that hired me. They were who paid my wages and everything. But I used to work in-house at a car leasing company, because the job I did was that we would arrange replacement hire cars for the car leasing company when their company cars were off the road for like mechanical or accident repair. And it was the fucking worst, because like we had to abide by all of Enterprise's rules and stuff, but we also had to abide by all the car hire company's rules as well. And no one in the leasing company ever properly differentiated that we weren't them. Like, we would have to sit there, like when they did like company-wide meetings and stuff, we would be included in them, and then we'd have to sit there like listen to them to talk about like their bonus projections and stuff like that. And like, oh yeah, we're on track for a really good bonus this year, everyone. You know, can we get a round of applause and stuff? I didn't get the bonus because I wasn't employed by the leasing company. I was Enterprise Rent-A-Car. So I never got the bonus. I had to always sit there and listen about how everyone's bonus was going. And, you know, when people got their bonus and their pay slips and stuff, I would get to hear everyone talk about the bonus, and they'd be like, oh, how much did your bonus, you know, how much is your bonus, Megu? And I'd be like, I don't get a bonus. I'm Enterprise. Like, I don't get your bonus. I'm on different payroll and different rules. And we weren't bonus, and it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. And again, like I say, with the Navy job I did, it was the same sort of thing. Like, yeah, I was, you know, based at a Navy base, and everything I was doing for my job was for the Navy, but I wasn't employed by the Navy. I was employed by an external contractor and just placed on the Navy. So again, like everyone that dealt with me day to day would treat me like Navy stuff and then be surprised that like I couldn't do what they wanted me to do and stuff, because I'd be like, no, that's not how it works for me. And they'd be like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm contractor. I'm not Navy. And it's such a shit fucking working system. Also, family businesses, a big red flag. If you ever apply for somewhere and it's like, at our business, our employees are like our family. Run. It's just don't. Just fucking don't. Like, oh my god, family businesses are such a well, not necessarily family businesses, but like when like a corporate job says they're like a family, that is like the biggest fucking employment red flag. Like, our employees are like our family. Just run. Just don't even think about it. Because all that translates to, in my experience, like when people say that like they treat their colleagues like a family, it doesn't mean anything good for you. What it does mean is that they expect you to bend over backwards for everything. And, you know, they put way too much emphasis on like your actions, you know, letting the team down and stuff like that. Like, in my experience, when you have a boss that like says, you know, oh, you're like family, it's always been bad. It's always been bad. Fuck the contractor life. None of the benefits, all of the drawbacks, no bonuses or anything. No benefits, which means here in the US, you get no healthcare or anything. Yeah, thankfully, obviously in the UK, like I don't have the healthcare thing to worry about at least. But you're bang on about the rest of it. Yeah, it was the same for me. Like I never got any of the benefits of the companies I was working in-house at. Because like the company I was contracted by, you know, I've never worked a job where I get like a bonus. I've never worked anywhere where I get any kind of bonus or anything. So yeah, you get none of the cool perks that the company you work in-house at gets. You don't get any of the perks. You don't get the benefits. You don't get the bonuses or anything. You do. You just get all the drawbacks. You're absolutely right, Chloe. I'm like never gonna catch up with chat. I'm actually never gonna catch up with chat. Holy shit, I'm still so behind. I picture Orkin with maid dress and cat ears. Wait, so true. So true, Kin. Wait, Orkin, can we get a cat ear revision on that maid picture? Hero 100% wasn't normal about it. He was so normal about it. What do you mean? What do you mean, Yumi? Hero was so normal about it. You feel bad about the non-verbal thing though. Sometimes I'll go to Big Asda to get food, and out nowhere Raina will be like, "I want to get some clothes," and my mood does a 180 flip like half the fucking day. I hate it about myself, but I don't think there's anything I do. There's not really anything you can do about it. Like the only thing you can really do is like you could technically refuse. You know, technically you could say, "No, Raina, we're not trying on clothes. I don't have the energy for it today." You like denying her would be the only thing you could do. But then I know you're a nice guy, and I know you wouldn't want to deny Raina just because it would sour your mood. So I don't think there really is anything you can do. Because the only thing you really could do would be to like dictate what Raina can do and be like, no, we're not doing that. But you're a nice guy, and I don't think you would do that to her. So no, you are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place with shit like that. But I do completely get what you mean. There's this one TV show I've seen clips of, but I have no idea what it's called. It's about an autistic... Oh, wait, I haven't seen the show, but I've seen clips of it. I know the one you mean. It's the new version of doing a lot of damage, but yeah. I'm the same. I couldn't tell you what it's called. I don't know what it's called, and I haven't watched a full episode or anything, but I've seen clips of it on like YouTube Shorts and TikTok and stuff, and yeah, that's... Again, it's one of those, like, you know, like, I don't doubt that, like, people, you know, there probably are autistic people that do present like that, you know? I'm not saying that there aren't autistic people that do behave like Sheldon and do behave like that doctor, you know? I'm not saying it's not representation, because it probably does represent someone on the spectrum. But yeah, it is, like, it's just, like, stuff like that is, like, very damaging to, like, stereotypes. Like, when it's in big media like that, like... It's so easy to go from representation to like misrepresentation. The Good Doctor, that's the one. Giri's so smart. Giri knows. Yeah, The Good Doctor, that's the one, yeah. Autistic people 100% have autism sense. I can sniff it out. People sniffed me out because, like I say, like when I started streaming and stuff, like I had a couple people. I think the first time it happened was on my debut, when I first debuted like the original Megu model with the big pink jacket, and like someone asked me on my debut, and I'm just like, no, I'm just silly. But then I befriended autistic people, and I started seeing a lot of myself in them. And I'm like, And then a few more people questioned me, are you autistic? And I'm like, And that's when I started really thinking about it. And I've done my homework since, and I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I think the thing is, because like, yes, I definitely feel I'm drawn to other autistic beings. Like, because like, with other autistic people, like you have a lot of like, you have a lot more understanding and acceptance of people who share the same kind of traits for you, I think. And like, whereas like, you know, to a neurotypical person, you know, the way we react and behave to things, you know, it's annoying, it's a burden, you know, it's a problem, or whatever you want to call it. Whereas like, even if it's not specifically how like a neurodiverse person experiences their own issues, like they're generally, in my limited experience at least, like they're generally more accepting of it, you know, like even if you don't have a meltdown in the exact same way as someone else's meltdown, you can still like, you still have a better understanding of, you know, why that person's gone into meltdown and how they're behaving the way they are and stuff, you know. I think there's just that kind of like familiarity, and like you can just like be yourself around like other neurodiverse people and you don't get questioned or judged for it, you know? Like the amount of times I always feel like I got this like all the time when I was like working and stuff. Like I never know what to do with my hands. Like I never know what to do with my hands because like I'll just be like standing there with like my little dinosaur arms and then like some fucking person in the office will be like, "What are you standing like that for?" And I'm like, I'm just, what do you mean? I'm just standing. They're like, "Why have you got your arms up like that?" And I'm like, I don't know, it's just comfy. Whereas, like, you know, if a fellow autistic person sees someone standing there with T-Rex arms, like, they're not going to be like, "Why are you standing like that? What are you doing with your arms?" You know, like, you're not immediately just, like, judged for being different, you know? And I think that's where a lot of it kind of comes from. Chat, someone drank all my tea again. Why is my teacup always empty? Why is it empty? Every time I stream, my tea disappear. Every time. I'm glad I got confirmation, got closure after 25 years of confusion. I'm really glad that you feel that way, Kin. I'm glad you got it, and I'm glad that you're happy about it. I know it's a big deal. I don't know if you were here earlier, but I've actually, as of this morning, I've actually started the process with my GP. I don't expect it to happen anytime soon. I know the waiting lists are hell. And the first question they asked me was, "You do know about the list, right?" So I know in my area as well that there's definitely a waiting list situation. So I don't expect anything to happen anytime soon. But I have officially asked the question today, and I've been given information on how to proceed with the way my doctors and area specifically does it. So I doubt I'll be celebrating anytime soon, but you know, maybe one day, maybe one day it'll be me too. Because I kind of feel the same. Like, for me, it's I don't know actually. I don't know, because on the one hand, I want to say, like, you know, it's not like it's like I kind of feel like I don't have that 25 years of confusion kind of aspect to it, because like it's only like a very recent thing to like that I've been thinking like, wait, am I autistic? That's a fairly new development for me, you know, like within the past like 3 years. But then when I think about it, and I think about the way I've always been, like ever since like a kid and stuff, like it definitely has been a problem for a long time. It's just a problem that for whatever reason always flew under the radar, you know? Like I was, you know, when I was a kid, for example, you know, I was a fussy eater, you know. I was always deemed a fussy eater because of how particular I was about my food. And I would, like, my mum would call me stroppy and would tell me I'd have like tantrums and stuff, you know, because I was just a stroppy tantruming child. I was destructive. Like I didn't know how to process my emotions and stuff, and I would like break things and stuff. Like I would literally like cut holes in my bed sheets. I would break my toys and stuff like that, like in like angry little outbursts and stuff. And then I'd cry afterwards because I'd be like, my bed sheet's ruined, and I'd cry about it. You know, I'd like cut the hair off my Barbie and then cry because my Barbie was bald 20 minutes later. You know, like, because I didn't know how to deal with anything. And yeah, I was just, you know, I was a picky eater and I had tantrums and I was aggressive and, you know, stuff like that, you know? It was just like so prevalent in my childhood. And like there was definitely a case of like, you know, me being treated differently by my peers, like in school and stuff. And like I was always desperately trying to fit in. You know, I always tried to do the things the other kids did and like the things the other kids did, and like never really fit in anyway and never really understood why and like all that kind of stuff. So like, although it's not necessarily, I haven't necessarily been wondering about autism specifically my whole life, like there has always been that kind of like feeling inside me. Like there has always been that question of like, you know, why am I different? You know, like why am I not like instantly likable like everyone else is? You know, like why do I not have a work bestie? Like everyone has like their best friend at work. I didn't have a work best friend, you know? Like I never had so many things that were like so normal to everyone else, like, and that was just like never my normal. Like I never had those normal experiences and stuff. And so yeah, like looking back, autism would make a lot of sense, like even to like a lot of things I experienced like as a kid and like through all stages of my life really. So yeah, although for me it's not like I've been waiting for the diagnosis my whole life like you have been, Kin, as such, because I know you said before that like you and your parents had suspicions, didn't you? But like no one, like back then, like no one really took it seriously or did anything about shit like that. It was never really like that for me, but like it would make a lot of sense, and I feel like it would give me a degree of like peace and closure about like my past and stuff. Like I feel like it would be nice to have it, you know, and know that it's not my fault, you know. It wasn't actually anything under my control, and it's not that I was a freak or a weirdo or anything. I was just programmed differently, and that's okay, you know. Like I feel like getting a diagnosis would like help me put some of my past demons to rest, kind of thing, you know. I do think it would definitely be helpful. Listen with the tisms, how I got hero? Hell yeah. Imagine Mia listening. I know, right? Imagine. I'm totally catching up with chat. I'm totally getting there. I love my Doc Martens, but man, are they heavy as hell. Oh, I did buy a pair of Doc Martens once. I had a pair of the glittery ones, and I did wear them a few times, and I didn't find them like hideously uncomfortable to break in, because like the glittery ones aren't like the leather ones and stuff. So I think the glitter ones are easier to break in than like the big heavy duty leather bad boys. And I didn't have like super problems with like breaking them in or anything. And like I love them visually and stuff, but they're so big and heavy and clunky, and I just couldn't get past that. So I ended up selling them. I was like, before I wear these too much and like wear the glitter off and stuff, I was like, I'm just gonna sell them now and get my money back essentially before I end up like losing on this purchase. I like aesthetically, I love Doc Martens. I do love them, but like for me these days, like a lighter, softer shoe is a lot better for me. I can't be doing big, heavy, clunky boots anymore. I've got a pair of Skechers ankle boots that I normally wear. My Skechers ankle boots are like my autumn winter shoe, and then I normally just wear like other trainers through like spring summer. And I know Skechers aren't as cool as like something like Doc Martens. They're not very cool, but they are comfortable. They are comfortable, and they're not the ugliest boot in the world, you know. They're not the ugliest boot. I don't know. I don't know if you saw them or paid attention to them, but I did wear them for most of the Fish Fest days. If anyone saw the pink shoes I was wearing at Fish Fest, those are my normal boots. Because like the boots, like the Skechers boots, don't feel exactly like wearing the trainers, but it's closer to trainers than like a typical boot, you know. So I feel like it's a good breach, like a good bridge between like comfort and practicality while still being like a little bit cute, because you know they're pink and white, so they're a little bit cute, you know. They're not just like a boring Boo. Like, yeah, they're not cool like a Doc Martin is, but you know, they're comfy and practical, and I don't hate how they look. So that's a win in my book. They were also free because my mum gave them to me. My work at my last job was kind of the same. I just considered all the random shifting bullshit to be work, so long as I did stuff on the right days and times. I did not cope with it well. Hi, baby. Oh, you really don't like it when Daddy's not home, do you? Baby. What's the matter? Hi. I think he's really confused because it's been a while since Mia's been at the office during the day. Because Ginga spends most of his day in Mia's room normally, because Ginga's got like a blanket under Mia's desk, and that's like where he sleeps like 90% of the time. I think he's really confused because Mia's not here. He keeps coming in and pestering me, bless him. Oh, did we run out of music? We did. Okay, let's just put the normal playlist on, I guess. We'll just put the normal playlist on, I guess. If a company says we treat the company as a big family, run because you know they're doing some illegal shit. Literally, TK. Literally. Gotta be one of the biggest, like, work red flags. What if I work for a family business? Actually, the local news agency I work at was owned by one of the family generations before the current family brought it back 6 years. That's different. I feel like that's different. Like, if it's an actual family run, like, small independent business, I think that's different. It's when, like, a big company, it's like specifically when, like, big companies say, you know, like, oh, everyone who works is our family. That's when you gotta be worried. If it's like an actual family run business, it's not too bad. But, like, if it's like a big business that, like, classes themselves as like a family, then you gotta run. Like, family business is fine. I worded it wrong the word like first time. Family businesses are fine in my experience. It's when businesses say they're like a family, that's when you gotta worry. That's when you gotta worry. Completely irrelevant to convo, and I apologize, but I feel like I have to mention that my hair very curly today. Ah, cute. You should send me a selfie so I can verify the curliness. You should send me a selfie so I can verify. What the heck? It's almost 1 p.m. It's gone 1 p.m. now because I'm behind with chat. Why are people trying to get me to do stuff that isn't my job? Tell them to fuck off in business terms. I don't know how you would say that in business terms, but in business terms, tell them to fuck off. Want to know something? My mum does dino arms, and I do it too sometimes too. My dad has even pointed out, but he loves her and says that it's cute. Aw, Mia does the same thing. Mia will point out my dinosaur arms, but like not in a piss takey, judgy, horrible way. But he will point them out sometimes. And then I'll feel really conscious and I'll like put my arms down by my side, like, leave me alone. Because like I genuinely don't even realise I'm doing it sometimes. I'll just feel like walking around the house just with my arms bent up. And like I don't always even notice I'm doing it. And it's not until like someone questions me and then I'm like, and I just like put them like straight down by my sides awkwardly, like, no, I'm not. I'm normal. Waiting lists suck in the UK. If you're posh, you can skip it or go in private. Yeah, I'm unfortunately unemployed, so I cannot afford to go private. I cannot afford to go private. I am big skin. It would... God, even if I saved up what I make on Twitch, like, bearing in mind, like, I barely make payout most months, like, even if I saved up my own money for it, it would take me so long to afford a private assessment. I'll just deal with the list for now. And I don't know, if it takes too long and I somehow come into a large sum of money, maybe I'll think about doing it private. I don't know. But for now, I'll take the free list, even if it's the long one. For me, it's the peace of mind. I accept I'm kind of past the part of my life where it could have actually been helped with, but wasn't. So the diagnosis itself doesn't really do anything other than hopefully have some understanding from jobs. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, obviously, like, it won't change or fix anything from, like, past struggles or anything where, like, the help and knowledge could have, like, in turn helped me and stuff. You know, I'm way beyond the point of, like, you know, having, like, accommodations made for me and stuff to, like, you know, make things more like doable for me and shit like that. But yeah, I agree. It's just like the kind of acceptance, because I feel like I do harbor a lot of demons and like a lot of trauma from like growing up and stuff, and I feel like if I had like a proper diagnosis as an answer, like, yeah, it still doesn't take away those things or anything, but like, I feel like it would help me personally be more at peace with myself and who I am, and that, you know, because I have those days where, like, you know, sometimes I just think that, like, you know, I'm the master of my own disaster, you know, and like, surely everything's my fault and I deserve all the bad things that happen to me and stuff like that, you know. I know someone's gonna shout at me for saying that, but I can't help the way I feel, you know. Whereas I feel like if I had a proper diagnosis, like, I feel like I don't think I would immediately be super kind and forgiving to myself, but I do feel like it would help me be kinder to myself, you know? And I feel like it would potentially help me, you know, kind of come to terms with stuff that's bothered me all these years, you know? And finally be able to put a lid on it, you know, and be like, you know, that wasn't actually my fault and I didn't do anything wrong. It's because of the tism and you didn't know and you can't help that, you know? Like, I feel like it would just help me be at peace with a bunch of stuff. And then, as to say as well, like, the added bonus of, like, actually, yeah, like being able to, like, assert my boundaries and stuff, like, going forward better as well, and being able to, like, actually, because like sometimes I'll say that, like, something I've done, like, this is mainly to Mia, like, I haven't really said this to my mum, but like sometimes I'll explain something to me and I'll be like, you know, it's the autism, and then like the little niggly voice in the back of my head is like, yeah, but you're not diagnosed though. Can you say that? Like, are you allowed to say that as the reason? Because like, you're not diagnosed. What if you're not autistic? What if you are just an oversensitive little bitch? You know, like, there's just always that little nasty voice in the back of my head that is like, I don't think I'll ever get past that unless someone officially declares it, you know? Like, I feel like I need an outside party to, like, officially declare it, you know? I feel like if I get a proper diagnosis, then I won't beat myself up over, like, feeling the way I do and struggling the way I do and stuff. Like, I feel like I'll beat myself up about that sort of stuff a lot less if I have an actual diagnosis, because I don't really talk about it a lot, but there is a lot of times where, like, as much as I do feel things and, like, I've done my due diligence and, like, worked out things as much as I can on my own and stuff, and like, I don't think I've made, like, you know, I've not seen a couple funny autism memes and gone like, oh my god, that's so relatable, I must be autistic, you know? Like, I've done a lot of looking into it. I have looked into a lot, you know. I've done my due diligence. I've done everything I can. It's not something I've just decided on a whim or a trend or anything. So like, there are days when I'm like confident and certain in my assessment, you know,
But then there's other days where the brainworms are stronger. And they're just like, yeah, but what if you're not actually autistic, though? And then I'm like, what if I'm not? Like, and then, like, if I'm not, like, what is actually wrong with me, sort of thing, you know? So I feel like it would be beneficial for me for a lot of reasons. I kind of do wish I'd started the process earlier, because obviously the wait lists suck and stuff. But there is part of me that kind of wishes I'd started earlier, but I don't know. It took a long time for me to come to terms with the fact that it was actually something I wanted and felt like I needed, you know? It took me a while to come to terms with that. So, you know. And I'm trying to be kind to myself. Companies can dismiss private diagnoses. Yeah, that is another thing, because I did look into private to like see how much they are, and I did find one that's like a clinic in London that does it for like £1,000, which is a lot cheaper than like the £3,000 to £4,000 that a lot of people quote. Obviously, it's still, for someone like me, it's still a lot of money because I don't get a lot of money, but like it did have a disclaimer on the page as well. Like it did actually have a disclaimer to say, like, you know, before going ahead with this, like, please be aware that only NHS diagnoses are like accepted across the board, you know, like an NHS diagnosis is like pretty much blanket accepted, you know, like that is the diagnosis. A private diagnosis can be accepted, but it's not guaranteed. So, you know, even if you have it, like a lot of people and places could be like, you know, well, that's not an NHS diagnosis. And then at that point, you know, like you've like, yeah, you got your answer, but like it doesn't mean anything for you, sort of thing, you know? So yeah, there is that aspect as well to the NHS versus private debate. It's such a mess, man. You'd think fucking healthcare would be better, but it's not. It's fucking not. I feel like healthcare everywhere is just a mess in its own funny little way. Like, yeah, our healthcare problems are very different to American healthcare problems, for example, but like, there's still problems. Like, does anywhere have good healthcare? Yeah, when I was 4, I was taken to get assessed, but the doctors told my parents they didn't want to label me. This was the 90s. Yeah, the 90s are fucking wild, man. I don't remember for certain, but like my brother is dyspraxic and he is diagnosed with dyspraxia and he has been since we were in like junior school. And I'm pretty sure they did the same thing for him. Like my mum had to fight for my brother's diagnosis for dyspraxia because they did the same with him. They were like, oh, we don't want to label him, you know, we don't want to label him, and we don't want the other children or like him to know that he's different. And it's like, he'll fucking know he's different anyway, you know? If he's like struggling to use a pair of scissors and stuff like that, you know? Like, it's like, for anyone that doesn't know, what dyspraxia is, it's like your brain doesn't send the right signals to like the rest of your body, sort of thing. So like they can be like really like cat-handed with like their coordination and stuff. My cousin, who also has dyspraxia, she literally can't use a pair of scissors properly. She physically just cannot hold or operate a pair of scissors. Her dyspraxia is that bad, you know, because it's just like the brain doesn't send the right signals to like your muscles and your tendons and stuff. So like you physically can't do the right movements you need to do for things. So it's like, you know, diagnosis or not, like he's gonna know he's different. Like when he sees other kids doing things and he can't do it, even though he's doing exactly what other kids are doing and he's doing it exactly the way he's being told to do it, but his body just physically won't do the thing for no fault of his own. Like he's gonna know he's different. But yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, my mum had to fight like for that. I remember my mum having to fight for that back in the 90s. Because, yeah, they pulled the same stuff with him. They're just like, we don't want to label him. I don't know why my mum fought for my brother's issues and not mine, but maybe that's the question we don't want answers for. maybe we don't need answers to that question. Maybe that's fine unanswered. My nursery teacher told my parents that we work at Mia's because I was apparently quite boisterous. They didn't like the idea that it wasn't normal, so I never went for it. That's so fucked up, man. That's actually, I'm so sorry, Toby. That's so fucking rough. And I kind of think that's where mum is with me, though. Because, like, where, like, she's got all her medical problems and disabilities and stuff. So's my brother. Like, I know it sounds weird, but, like, I do think part of her just needs one of us to be normal. You know, like, I think part of her, like a really weird part of her, just needs one of us to be normal, you know? I don't agree with that assessment, but I do think that's what she is doing, you know? I do feel like for whatever reason, like, there probably is, like, I wouldn't be surprised if there is, like, some sort of underlying, like, trauma kind of aspect to it, because I know her siblings that she grew up with. Like, I know she grew up with fiercely competitive siblings, and a couple of them, like, my aunties and uncles on my mum's side, for a couple of them, like, her brother and, obviously, the woman they ended up marrying, they were the type where, like, they would always be fiercely competitive. It'd be like, oh, my kid's got into a better school than your kid's got into. My kid got a better grade in their SATs than your kid. Oh, we bought a bigger house than you did. You know, like, there's always been that kind of level of competition kind of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is, like, some, like, underlying, like, trauma kind of thing between, like, her and her family and stuff. And, like, for the longest time, like, I actually did, even though, like, this isn't a flex, because, like, I've never worked a really good job. All my jobs have been kind of shit. Like, I've never worked somewhere where I earn more than, like, 12,500 a year. Like, I've always worked really low paid, like, entry level kind of jobs. My working history is mostly call center. And then I've done a small retail stint, and I've worked admin for about 3 years. But most of my work experience has just been call center, you know. I've never been anything special. But, you know, one of my aunties, she just works in a co-op. A co-op, if anyone doesn't know, it's just like a chain, like a little, like, corner shop, like mini market kind of shop, like small convenience store kind of thing. It is kind of like similar to, like, you know, your 7-Elevens and stuff like that. So she works in there, and her daughter works in Asda, which is a supermarket. And then her other daughter's, like, bounced in between jobs, but again, like, nothing, like, super impressive or whatever. So, like, I think for a while, like, me being, like, holding down, like, a long-term, like, job in, like, a allegedly better job than what my cousins had, I don't know, like, it gave mum something to flex, you know, like, oh, Megu's doing this and Megu's doing that, and oh, Megu's bought her own house. Like, it gave mum something to flex on, sort of thing, you know. Again, I don't think that's right, and I don't really agree with it, but I do suspect that's what has happened with me, you know. Like, it's kind of just been, like, projected onto me that, like, I'm the better person, sort of thing. And for the record, I don't think I am. I'm not a better person of anyone. I don't believe, I'm not saying that with, like, ego or anything. I genuinely don't believe I'm a better person. But I feel like it's kind of always been projected on me to be a better person, you know? That reminds me, Raina got some new platform trainers. They're actually adorable. I'll try and remember to show you later. Oh, yes, please. I love shoes. I love shoes so much. I wish I could wear more shoes, but, like, my foot needs are quite strict because, like, I've got my arthritis in my ankle as well, so I do need something, like, a bit more structured and supportive. So there's a lot of, like, funky shoes I can't wear, sadly. But I'm always down for looking at shoes. I love shoes. Window shopping is free, and I will gladly look at shoes any day. Shit meeting over. It was, can you work from Tuesdays to Saturdays? I'm like, no, I can't. Saturday's the only day that I can meet with my partner. So now I wonder whether. Oh God, I hope not Orkin. Wait, did Tori actually send me a picture? Oh my God, Hero, you gotta up your game, man. You gotta up your game, man. I asked Toru for a selfie. He just sent it. He did not even complain about it. Toru, do you know how long it took me to finally get a selfie out of Hero? It literally took over a year of asking for me to get a selfie for him to finally relent and send me one. And it wasn't a selfish one either. Like I have sent selfies and photos of myself that he has seen in the meantime. It's not like I was asking but never providing. I have provided pictures of myself. Fair enough, he didn't ask them specifically, but like I will gladly like send pictures among the friendos. But Hero's like, no, I don't want to. I don't like myself. He doesn't know how adorable he is. Tyreek actually sent me one. We love him for that. That is proper curly. Look at that. Sheesh. Tyreek's like almost got the like anime girl like drill hairstyle going on. He's almost got anime girl drills in his hair. He was not kidding. He do be having a curly moment. Hi, baby. Oh, Kinga, honey. Hi. Meow. Hi. Do you want uppies again? No? Do you know what you want? He does not know. He is not a knower of what he wants. Even if you weren't autistic, but your boundaries should still be acknowledged and respected. You don't need to be autistic to be upset or bothered by something. Yeah, you'd think that, but you'd think that. I hate it. I hate it when I'm like at mum's and like I'm just like fidgeting about and stuff, and she'll be like, "Stop fidgeting, sit still," and I'm like, so just like seething on the inside. Like it's so hard not to fidget. Like sometimes, like because like my mum's got a dog. She's got a Westie, and I know she does. Okay, I'm not saying that house is unvacuumed because I know she does do the vacuuming sometimes, but she doesn't do it as often as a lot of people would do because like she's disabled herself, and you know she has a lot more bad days than she has good days. So like it's not like she's vacuuming the house every week sort of thing. So you know what it's like if you got a pet. You know the hair builds up in the carpet and stuff if it's not vacuumed and stuff. Like there's often times where like I visit mum, like I will be like fidgeting my feet around like so much that like you know what it's like I don't know if you've ever like run your hand over like a carpet, like a hairy carpet, but you know how you can like roll up the hair sort of thing. Like I will just like have like a little pile of like rolled up fur in like the foot area, like in the carpet in front of my chair, because I'll just like sit there just like moving my feet constantly because I just can't sit still like ever. And I will like sometimes like if she hasn't like vacuumed recently, I will literally just like peel up a bunch of like little clumps of Lulu fur just because of how I've been like fidgeting my feet around and stuff. Because I do it all the time without even noticing, and like, half the time she's just like, stop fidgeting. But it's like it's hard, man. I can't just not fit. I don't even realize I'm fidgeting half the time. I remember watching a Channel 4 program about autism in women and talked in depth about differences, masking, etc. That got me to get the process started. Yeah, because it presents very differently in women, doesn't it? That's another thing as well. Like, I was like, not when I was like really young, but like by the time I was in senior school, like a comment I often got from like teachers and like, you know, doctors and stuff like that, I would always get told like she's so mature for her age. I would always be told I was so mature for my age because like I didn't act the way like normal children behaved and stuff, you know? And that's another thing where I'm like kind of like in hindsight, it's like, you know, was she mature for her age, or was she just like, you know, forced to do adult things too soon? You know, like I was like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. But like, I definitely ended up masking, like, from a pretty young age, I reckon. That's one thing I've like really loved about streaming is like I can come on stream and be my weird little self like that. This is another thing that like started getting me thinking was actually after streaming, like after like people asking me if I'm autistic and stuff, and starting to like do my own research and stuff, and like I noticed that like I could be a silly little goober on stream, and like people would stay. You know, like people weren't immediately turned off by the fact that I was a weird little goober, you know? And like I felt like I could be more my weird little self on stream than I really could off stream, you know? Other than Mia. Like Mia gets unfiltered Megu all the time, unfortunately for him. Unfortunately for Mia, he does have to live with unfiltered Megu. I do have no filter and no mask around Mia. But like other than Mia, like when I visit my mum's and stuff, like, you know, I'm heavily masked at mum's. Like I cannot be myself at mum's. I literally cannot be myself around mum. Oh wait, my prescription's ready. Oh chat. My prescription's ready. That was so quick today. Jesus. We'll yap for a little bit. I'm not gonna dump stream straight away to go get my prescription. We can still yap for a little bit, yeah. We can still yap for a little bit. Actually, I wonder, hang on, I need to message Mia. Because I know he said it's dead in the office today, and he did say yesterday that if it's dead, he did say, like, if it's really quiet, he might come home earlier. Because I'll be, like, halfway to Tesco to go to the station to pick Mia up anyway. So if I can tie it in with picking Mia up, then I only have to go out one more time today. Instead of 2 more times. Do you know yet what time you'll be coming home, roughly? My prescription is ready, but if you come home earlier, like you said yesterday, I can tie the pickup of that in with you, and then I only have to go out once. We'll ask the question, chat. He's not online at the moment, but hopefully he'll see it. Hopefully he'll see it. I don't know if he will, but hopefully, fingers crossed. Because if I only have to go out one more time today instead of 2, that would be ideal. Only going out one more time today would be really nice. I don't even know what I'm saying now. That's completely derailed my train of thought. I don't remember. I don't remember. Anyway. Anyway. I was diagnosed about 2009, 2010-ish. My mum had to fight for my diagnosis. How old were you in 2010, Bobbington? What kind of age were you? When I'm guessing you were you under 18 if your mum had to fight for the diagnosis? I'm guessing, but apologies if I'm wrong. 9-ish? Yeah, it's so fucked up, isn't it? It's messed up, man, that you have to fight it. It sucks. I come back now feeling really bad about my dyspraxia. No, I don't feel bad about it, TK. It's fine. Like, you can't help it. If anyone makes you feel bad about it, I'll fight them. I'm not a very good fighter, but I'll fight him for you. I better go. 6%. Love you or no, Toru, you can't leave us. How dare? How dare? You can't just go. That's fucked up. I'll miss you. Love you or love you too, Toru. I hope you have a good rest of your shift. I hope you have a good rest of the shift. Please don't stream your tabs later. I love you and I want to see you again, but not if your tabs are on display. Please and thank you. Nah, you're cooked. Oh, chat, it's so over. It's so over. Sucks that you have to have that trauma projected onto you, though. It kind of does, but, you know, you get used to it. All other besties send selfies. Yeah, everyone else will just, like, freely send a selfie. But not Hero, no. Hero's far too special to send selfies on command. Pah! Bah! Stinky Vanui. I never got the thing with selfies. Why would I take a picture of myself when there's a really cool bird? That's fair, but like, I think especially like in the case of like online friends, like, I don't get to see you guys that often. So like, it's nice to see a selfie sometimes. You know, like I still appreciate all the pictures Giri takes of like her room and gear and like Yuna and stuff that she shares. But it's nice to see Giri herself sometimes too, right? It's nice to see the person behind the camera sometimes too. That's kind of how I look at it. Like obviously, like if I'm at like a zoo or something, yeah, I'm taking pictures of the animals, not people. But like, it's nice to have a selfie of your friends sometimes. Or like, you know, if you got some new clothes and like you feel good, you know, it's nice to like snap a little photo and share it with a friend and stuff and be like, look at my new jumper, it's so comfy and stuff like that. I don't know, it's just nice. Like when Giri got all dressed up for that New Year's Eve party, she sent me a picture of her in it. And it's nice. I like it. I know I used to get those sorts of comments sometimes when I didn't have biscuit box on my head. Never thought of that as masking. It's... I feel like it's not something that's like guaranteed to be masculine, but like for me, like definitely like a combination of childhood trauma and bullying and, you know, having certain standards like forced upon me and stuff, and then like coupled with stuff like how like you know, like if I was ever feeling something, you know, like my emotions are too big, you know, like if I'm upset about something, I'm really upset, you know, and like my emotions, like when I was younger, would like always be like belittled and like diminished, you know. I was always kind of, you know, oh, don't cry over spilt milk, you know, like, oh, that's not a big problem. Why are you so upset by it, you know? It's not a big deal. Stop crying, you know. Like I was always like kind of, my thoughts and feelings on things are always diminished, you know. If I was like really chatty, I was annoying and I'd be told to be quiet, you know. If I was like yapping on about something, it'd be like, okay, Meggy, that's enough now. Or like if I wanted to show something off, you know, like if I found like if we were at the beach and I found a cool shell, I'd be like trying to show off my shell and talking about it, and my mum's just like, yeah, I get it, you got a shell, nice. You know, like I'm used to being shut down a lot. So like I got to a point where like, you know, I didn't do a lot of childish things, you know. I didn't just like carefreely yap and stuff like that. You know, I was very like very boxed in and very serious and stuff. I was always very polite. I was like raised to like do my P's and Q's, you know, so I would always be like please and thank you and stuff like that. You know, I was always very polite, like almost kind of like honestly semi-formal. Like I would say like as a kid, I was like already kind of on like a semi-formal basis of like presenting myself, because like any more of me than that was just always too much for people. And it was just, I don't know, I guess it was just easier to be someone else than it was to be myself and get told off for it, sort of thing, you know? I know, like, saying it out loud, it sounds really fucking depressing. I know it sounds bad, like, saying it out loud, but, like, that's kind of how it was for me for, like, the longest time. And, like, even, like, as an adult in, like, the workplace and in college and stuff like that, like, it's always been easier to be someone I'm not than to be myself, because, like, myself has always been too much for people. It does sound really depressing. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it does sound really depressing. But that's just been, like, my normal for the longest time. But that is genuinely why I really love streaming, because, like, I can come on here and I can yap, and, like, at the end of the day, if you guys don't like it, like, you can just leave, you know? Like, no one's forcing you here to listen to me, you know? It's not like you're sat with me in public and it would be awkward to just get up and leave, you know? Like, you guys are here by choice, you know? You guys are here presumably because you want to be here. And you guys like me yapping. You like me being a silly little goober. And, like, even when I do get up on, like, upset on stream and stuff, you know, you never treat me like I'm silly to be upset about what I'm upset about, you know? You never treat me like, you know, like, oh, come on, Megu, like, you shouldn't be crying that much over your cat. It's just the cat, you know? Like, you guys never diminish me or my feelings and stuff, you know? You guys never try and put me in a different personality box than the box I came in, you know? You guys aren't trying to force my star-shaped peg into a different shaped hole or anything like that, you know? And that's why I love streaming so much, because, like, for the longest time, like, I haven't really, like, literally, Mia, for the longest time, has been the only person I can freely be me with. Like, Mia just gets goober Megu all the time. Like, Mia is literally the only person I've ever really been able to be, like, unapologetically me with. Because, like, for everyone else, like, I've always been too much, you know? I've always been too noisy or too loud or, you know, too chatty, you know? Like, my mum, it always makes me really conscious, because, like, my mum to this day will still pick on me, because, like, a lot of times, and you guys probably notice this on stream as well, because, like, I get really caught up in the app and stuff, but my mum's always like, here we go again, using 20 words when 2 would suffice, and, like, stuff, like, even just, like, little stuff like that. Like, I know it doesn't sound like a big deal as, like, an offhand remark, but, like, you know, I've been told that my entire life. Like, my entire life, you know? I've been told that I won't shut up, that I talk too much, that I use too many words when a smaller amount of words would suffice and stuff. And yeah, maybe a small amount of words would suffice. You know, I probably could yap about the same stuff with less words if I really thought about it. But I can't help it. I just yap. Like, you know, and sometimes, like, I don't know, I'm passionate about things, and, like, if I'm talking about something, like, I want to talk about it, you know? I don't just want to be like, yes, the thing was good. Like, if you ask me, like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, how was your day? Like, I'm not just going to be like, yeah, I'm all right, thanks. Like, if you ask me, like, you know, if I've been out for a day or something, you know, and you ask me, like, I'm going to tell you everything I did in that day, you know? I'm not just going to be like, yeah, it's all right. I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to be like, yeah, it was really good. We got the bus into town first, and then we went to the arcade. And then at the arcade, I played this game, and then Mia beat me at like, table hockey again, but we still had fun, so it's fine. And then we did the penny pushers for a bit, and I won a prize, and I was really excited. But then it really sucked, because we went to the beach afterwards, and I accidentally left the thing on the beach, so I don't have my prize anymore. Like, I will, like, if I'm telling you a story, I'll tell you everything, you know? And I won't condense it into words. I won't say, you know, yeah, it was good. We went to the arcade and then we went to the beach afterwards. Like, I will tell you that I will tell you how I got to the arcade, and I will tell you what I did at the arcade and what happened, and then I will tell you what happened afterwards. Like, I will give you the details. If you ask me, like, expect detail. Like, I will just go off on one. You know, like, I'll do, and, like, I can do that on stream. Like, I can just tell my entire story, and even if I end up, like, behind on chat and stuff, like, I don't care. Like, I can just, this is my space, and it's my rules, and I can be me here, And if any, I appreciate that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You know, I've learned years before now that I am definitely not everyone's cup of tea. And that's fine. No one's forcing you to stay here, you know? No one's forcing you to stay here, but this is my space, and I'm going to be unapologetically me in it. If I use too many words for you, you can go follow someone else. You know, there's streamers who will sit there that barely talk. You know, go follow them instead. If I'm too wordy for you, go follow a streamer that's like will just say like 2 words every 10 minutes. You know, I don't have to be for everyone, and that's fine. I'm just grateful for what I do have. You know. I'm grateful that I can just be my silly little self on stream and that I have anyone at all here, like, engaging with me and stuff, you know? I'm just happy to, like, finally have a space where I can be me. And, like, even, like, I know it's, like, daft little shit, but, like, even, like, silly little things about, like, how, like, I know I can say some unhinged stuff sometimes and shit, you know? And it's, like, if I, like, I couldn't bring up cannibalism in front of mum, you know, like she would just think I was a weirdo, you know, she'd think I was a freak and probably tell me to seek help or something. Whereas like I can like talk about cannibalism with you guys and like, yeah, there's always some people like, Meggy, what the fuck? But like, you still don't like shoot me down for it, you know? And then like I got like people like Geary who will like actively engage me in stuff like that. Like it's nice just being able to be weird. It's nice just being able to be weird. I remember one time I was walking like back from the car to the house with Mia, and there was like a dead bird on the pavement. But it looked like it had been like dead. I don't know where it came from because it's like in the middle of the pavement, but it definitely didn't look like recently deceased. It looked like it had been dead a while because it was like all dried up and crispy and like missing half its feathers and shit. I don't know if it had been like maybe like on a roof or something and got blown down by wind or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how this like crispy dead bird ended up in the pavement, but it did for whatever reason. And I just like stopped in my tracks and I'm just like looking at it. I was like, having a good old look because it was cool that you could see like to me. Like to me, it was cool that I could see what was like under the wings and stuff. You know, you don't normally see that part of a bird in like everyday life, you know? So like, I stopped and I was like staring at it. I was like having a look and like taking it in. And Mia's like, Meg, you can't, don't look at that. And I'm like, it's kind of cool though. And Mia's just like, no. You know, but like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's not weird to be curious about stuff like that, you know? It's not weird to be curious about stuff like that, you know? To me, shit like that's not weird, but like to a lot of people, it is. It's like weird and gross to do stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I just find shit interesting. Chat, I think it's pastry time. I'm getting a little hungry. I'm gonna try and eat a pastry. Hopefully, it's not too noisy. Maybe you can have a little lunch. You do have to be curious about that sort of stuff, right? Like, I kind of get it. Like, I know things like that, you know. I know things are called morbid curiosities for a reason. But, like, I don't think morbid curiosity is, like, inherently bad, you know? And it's like, I hate it when, like, people... I see it a lot online, where, like, people who are, like, really interested in, like, crime documentaries and stuff like that, and people are like, I don't know, I just don't trust people that are really into true crime. And it's like, why, though? Like, I really like true crime. I love watching crime documentaries and stuff. I love finding out about, like, really, like, horrible serial killers and stuff like that. Like, yes, it's unpleasant. I can understand the unpleasantness of it. But, like, it's also interesting. You know? Like, I also find it interesting. And it's like, I don't think that makes you... Like, I genuinely don't think I'm ever going to be a serial killer, you know? Like, I don't have serial killing in me. But like, yeah, like some people would just like automatically treat you as weird just for like having interest in stuff like that. Can you hear my pastry? Is it annoying? Or is it okay? That shit's cool. There's a reason I almost went to pathologist study. There was a little while back, Mum had a phase where like she was on this like documentary channel when I would visit, and I actually really enjoyed that like few weeks or however long it was she was for, because like it was really interesting. There was this program that used to be on when I got there, and it was one of those ones where it was a crime documentary, but it was more from like the investigation side of things. So like they didn't really talk about the criminal or what the crime he did or anything, or like what the outcome of it and that. It was purely about like the investigation, like how they found the evidence and stuff. And like I find shit like that so interesting. Like I remember one of the cases they found, like this guy was the suspect for a while, but like they'd visited his house several times and like hadn't found any evidence. And they were like at the point where it was like, we think it's this guy, but we've got nothing on him. And like we're running out of it, like we're running out of reasons to say we need to check out your house again, sort of thing, you know? But the last time they visited, they just found, like someone noticed this tiny, tiny tuft of like coloured like fibre on like, I think it was like like under the sofa leg or like under a little chair leg or something like that. They just saw this really tiny like blue remnant. Say it was blue, for example. I can't remember if it was blue, but like they just saw this little coloured remnant. And like the body had been found like wrapped in like a blue blanket, for example. And this forensics person saw this tiny, tiny little scrap. I'm talking microscopic. It was like such a small scrap of material. But he's like, I'm sure that's the same material. So they took that and they took it back to the labs. And that tiny, minuscule, like less than 1 centimeter squared piece of fiber was actually what they got to pin the crime on him. Like, and like, I find stuff like that so interesting. I love shit like that. If Mia goes missing, we'll sit to ask if you need help hiding the evidence. It's okay, I know Giri's got my back. Giri will help me bury a body. It's pastry. You can't eat pastry. You're a cat. Maggie, you make me want to get tested because you will say things and I'm like, I will do that. Like I said earlier, I can't say one way or the other for definite, but I know it's very common that neurodivergents attract. It do be very common. Send me some, Meggy. Send me more true crime docu. Oh my god, one of the channels I watch, Giri, they uploaded a video recently, and it was on the clown killer, and I was like, oh no, I know this one. I was like, oh no, not you.
Undiagnosed, but pretty sure.
Yeah. That's just like the Mukuru motto at this point, isn't it? It's like our little mantra. He wants to try. He probably would eat the cheese, to be fair. He probably would like the cheese. So I'm not going to let him try some because he will want to eat it because of the cheese. But I know what he's like. He'll lick off all the cheese and then he'll leave the pastry. And I can't eat the pastry after he's licked it, so I'm not sharing. Only person I can talk to about that sort of stuff, not on the internet, is with my sister. I do also need to poke her for getting a diagnosis sorted too, though. Aww. Thankfully, my brother doesn't share the same mindset of my mum. When I spoke to my brother about my suspicions, he was actually really receptive about it. And like, when I started explaining my reasons why I was thinking it, he was like, actually thinking back on it, like thinking about like growing up and stuff, he was like, that would actually make so much sense. Like my brother was actually really receptive to the information, which is really nice. So I have been able to talk to him about autistic stuff. And he does have like, I still can't super be myself around him because obviously when I'm at his house, mum's normally there too. And I do still mask quite heavily around mum. But he definitely does have a better understanding of me. And we do talk about weird shit in DMs sometimes. The Clown Killer? Is this one my brain forgot? Maybe, yeah. John Wayne Gacy. Really, really fucked up, man. Oh my god. This is only like very tangentially related. It just popped into my brain because John Wayne Gacy was a politician as well, wasn't he? So it's like very loosely related. But like, I keep seeing, I don't know what's going on. And I'm gonna like out myself now as someone completely clueless or ignorant. But like, I don't know who or what JFK is. I don't really know who he is. I don't know why he was assassinated. I don't know anything about him. But he's all over my fucking like Twitter and Blue Sky at the moment. Because like some files got released recently about him or something. And like, it's fucking everywhere. I'm so bored of it. Literally, like, if I venture off my following tab, if I go into my For You tab, at the moment, I see two things. I see JFK and I see Needy. I see JFK and Needy. That's all I get on my fucking For You feed at the moment. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, I hope you didn't hear that. US president, he was assassinated. He's US president, and his assassination was a big thing as the person was never caught. Oh. Wait, have they worked it out then? Is that why is it news all of a sudden? Because didn't that happen like ages ago? That's like a really old thing, isn't it? Why is it all over the news now? What happened? I might have to add it to my muted terms. No idea. I'm not American anymore. Hell yeah, Giri. Giri's like, hashtag not my problem. We love that for her. Kiri's like, I'm so sorry. I'm French. I don't care. Hi, Kafuffle. How you doing? Happy Friday. I'm just eating a pastry at the moment. Nom, nom, nom. It's because the files are unredacted. I don't want to talk about it because it's a lot more political than you think. I don't think anything. I don't think anything about it. I'm just confused why it's news all of a sudden. But yeah, definitely, if it's like super I mean, I guess if it, yeah, it makes sense it's political if he was a president, I guess. Makes sense. But yeah, don't go into detail about it because this is a happy place. This is a happy space. But yeah. Everywhere at the moment. Literally, I go on my For You tab and it's just JFK or Needy. And I'm kind of tired of seeing both now. I'm kind of tired of seeing both now. Hi! Do you want uppies? Come here. I'm picking you up by force. I don't care if you're not asking. Come here. I don't know what else to give you. It's not food time. You can have uppies or nothing. I don't know what else to tell you. Hi, baby. Who's my little scrungle bungle?
it's my little scrungle bungle. Anyway, it's Friday, so sir, better bring good shit. Destiny 2 distraction. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is on news apparently. It was Russell Brand sharing fake documents. What? I feel really. Oh no, Bovington, are you okay? Are you okay, hon? I'm assuming that's I feel really tired and I don't know why. Are you still at work? Can you maybe go for a nap? It sounds like you need a nap. It sounds like you might need a little nap. I'm at college. Oh no. Oh no. I think he's too tired to English. It do be like that sometimes. It do be like that sometimes. Other letters on the keyboard blurring, Bobbington. Other letters on the phone keyboard blurring. But they all become the same. I really need Mia to look at his phone. Where did you go, Stinky? Where did you go? Knowing my luck, he's not going to answer until I give up on him. And, like, yeah, I'll probably decide to, like, go get it myself at, like, 3 o'clock or something. And then he'll message me when I'm, like, at the pharmacy. He'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to finish soon. And I'll be like, damn it. I bet he'll, like, work it out just so it doesn't tie up nicely. That's going to be just my luck, chat. Oh, my ear feels itchy. I've got an itch in my ear, but I can't really itch it because it's really swollen. I can't even get a finger in there. I don't even think I could get a cotton swab down there, to be honest. Not that you're supposed to. Don't cotton swab your ears, chat. That's a no-no. But like, I'm just saying, like, I couldn't if I wanted to, you know. But it feels itchy. I've got like a little itch in my ear, and it's really annoying. I'm technically at college. Oh, I DM'd him. I DM'd him. He just hasn't answered yet. Like, he's not online, to be fair. So I would have thought he'd be on Discord more though, because he was complaining earlier that it was like dead and none of his team were around. So I would think he would just have like a lazy day on his phone or whatever, you know? But apparently not. Why won't you just lay down, honey? Why won't you just lay down? He's just walking around my desk and purring. He's not doing anything. He's just walking and purring. Why don't you lay down? Lay down. No. I tried making a little circle with my arms for him to sit in, but it didn't work. We're going to sit on the edge of the desk instead, are we? That looks comfy. He does not know what he's doing, chat. Wait, I got a gift sub, and they have my funny purple sword as an emote. Hell yeah! Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute a second to blow my nose. Hang on. Oh, that nose blow made my ears feel really funny. My head went a little swirly for a second. It made my like when I squeezed my nose to blow it. Like the difference in pressure made my left ear feel really weird. It did that thing, you know when like you do you ever like I don't know how to explain it. Like, do you ever get that like really kind of crunchy sound and feeling in your ear when you blow your nose? It did that, but like it felt really weird. You do that to clear your ears while diving? Wait, do you? I'm not diving, but I just did that, but it made my ear feel weird. Like when on an airplane, I have no idea. I haven't been on an airplane for years. I could not confirm nor deny if it's like being on a plane. I don't remember having any problems with my ears when we went to Edinburgh. That was the last time I went on a plane. But that was still about... God, how many years ago was that now? I don't remember. It was a while ago, though. I don't remember it, but I don't remember having any problems. Thinking you can't have Haribo. They are also not for cats. You want some cat biscuits? Hang on, I filled up your Dreamies. Let me get you some Dreamies. You can have some Dreamies. You can't have my snacks. No, stay there. You can have some Dreamies. Last time I went and played, my ears were in agony. Oh no, really? Oh my god, just stop trying to shove your head in the box. I've never flown domestic. I told Mia that we were flying to Edinburgh or we weren't going. Because the only way we were getting to Edinburgh without flying was me driving, and you know me, I don't like driving at the best of times. I think the furthest I've driven is like... Hang on. I gotta look up on a map. I don't know. How long is that? 29 miles. Oh no, 19. That's less. Yeah, I think like the furthest I've driven is like 30, 35 miles ish. I don't drive often. And when I do, well, I drive once a week to go to Tesco's. I technically drive often, but like I don't drive far. I go long stints between driving anywhere far. So Scotland was a big no-no, considering I'm on the south coast of the UK. There's only... I mean, if you went down to like Devon and Cornwall, it would probably be further away there. But like, apart from like, if you're in like Devon and Cornwall, if you're like down right at like the bottom left corner of the UK, you would be further away. But like, there's not many places in the UK you can go to be further away from Scotland. So I was like, I'm not driving it. So if you want to go, then we fly. Thankfully, the airport, like a city over from us, our city doesn't have an airport, but there is a city like a couple over that does. So mum was our taxi. We got mum to taxi us to and from the airport, so we didn't have to pay for airport parking. And we flew. And then like at the other end, we just got like buses and taxis everywhere. I really love being in Edinburgh. I love the trams. Oh my god, the trams are so cool. I don't know why everywhere doesn't have trams. I loved the trams in Edinburgh. They were awesome. I want to go on trams again. So, an artist I followed actually works at New Universal Parks and works the day that I preview the park. I could bother them, bother them nicely. Don't bother them too much. I flew to London. It was good. Oh, did you have a nice time in London? Did you meet any nice people while you were there? Longest I've driven would probably be about 2.5 hours ish from Skeggy. Skeggy! Wait, is it Skegness, right? Is it Skegness? Is that what you mean? Trams are neat, but the ones here cost £3 on a single. Wait, really? I can't remember how much Skeg Vegas. I can't remember how much the trams were in Edinburgh. I don't remember. I think. No, I don't know. I'm bullshitting. I was gonna say I think we had like a pass thing we brought, but then I forgot and I don't remember. I think they. No, I was gonna say like I think you had to pay like firm, but then I was thinking, wait, no, am I thinking of the Tube in London? Because I was about to say that like I think you had to like pay at like a machine to get your tickets before you could get on it, but then I'm like, wait, no, is that London? Wait, no, because we didn't buy tickets in London. We just like tapped our cards on the gates. Maybe we did have tickets to the tram. I don't remember. I don't remember how much it was or how it works. I just remember liking riding the tram. And I can't remember what it was called now. Oh, I can't remember what the place was called now because it's been a long time since I've been there, obviously. But one of the stops had a really funny name. And like they had like a voice that would like go out on the tannoy to be like, we are now approaching station name. And one of the stations had a funny name, and it was like one we went past every day. Because our hotel, we stayed in the big travel lodge opposite the airport, Edinburgh Airport. But it was just like a quick tram ride away to get into the city centre. So we rode the tram every day. Every day we did something, we rode the tram to get to and from where we were going to. And then sometimes we would use the tram like to get to other places as well. But we used the tram every day, and this one station always made me laugh every time the thing he said it. Because not only was it just like a funny name anyway, but like the tannoy announcer, like it was recorded, like it was a woman's voice, but like she had like a Scottish accent as well. So it just like it sounded so cute and funny. Like when every time it came out on the tannoy, and because I'm that type of person, like I will repeat like sounds and words and stuff. Like if it amuses me, I will like repeat it. You know, like, did anyone ever like those toy parrots you got back in the day? It would be like a little plush parrot on like a little hoop, and you would say something to it, and then it would repeat it back to you in like a funny voice. I'm like that. I'm like those old toy parrots. Like if something amuses me, I will repeat it back as I heard it. And I did that every time. Every time we were on the tram, I would repeat it. Sometimes Mia would be like, "Oh, here we go," because like he would preempt it before we got to it. He'd be already like preempting it happening. Hang on, I gotta look it up. I gotta try to find what the name was. Edinburgh. That is not how you spell Edinburgh. Jesus Christ. Edinburgh tram stops. I want to try to find it. Watch me look at all the stops and just not find anything funny anymore. I'm probably going to look at it and none of them will even seem funny. Oh, I think it was that one. I think it was Goggerburn. One of the tram stops is called Goggerburn. It's spelt like. It's about like that. But like the way the Tannoy said it in like the Scottish accent, like it was always funny. I can't tell you now how she said it. But it just like I just remember it sounding really funny to me, just like the way it sounded. I wonder. It feels like way too specific of a thing to be on YouTube, but I'm gonna look anyway. Edinburgh Tram Gogaban. What is actually wrong with me? What is wrong with me, chat? I'm trying to find it, chat. Hold on. This is, I don't know why this is so important to me all of a sudden, but it is. I gotta see if I can find it. I think I can now. It's just videos of the trams, like, from outside. I need an inside one. I'm not gonna hear it on the outside. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I don't think that, I can't find anything from like inside the tram where you would hear it. But it just I swear, you'll have to take my word for it. I swear it sounded funny. It's probably not funny to anyone else, but to me it was funny. We used to have Sean Bean as the announcer on the trams. I think they replaced him though. It's been a while. Did you actually? Wait, that's so cool. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, the trams do look very cool. I like the trams. Oh, it feels so nostalgic seeing these tram videos. That was me. I've been on those. I've been on those. The trams in Edinburgh were way better than the Underground. I did not enjoy London Underground. I like trains. I like trains a lot, but the Underground was too much for me. The Underground is it's loud, it's crowded, people leave weird things on the seats, and it's just very overstimulating and uncomfortable. I did not enjoy any of the times we went on the Underground. even if you managed to get a seat, even there were a few times we managed to get seated, but like even if you're sat down, like the Underground is just never a nice experience, at least in my limited experience. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's people that love the Underground, maybe. I don't know. There's probably an autistic Londoner somewhere that loves the Underground, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I like regular trains and I like trams, but the Underground just want it. Oh, is he from Sheffield, is he? That makes sense. Oh, that's a cool little like local claim to fame as well. Like, we got Sean Bean to do the announcements. That's so cool. I can't remember what I nearly said Mia's real name then. I don't know why I nearly said that. I nearly said it though. Mia. I can't remember what we were talking about now, but we were talking about Sean Bean. On the way back from shopping last week. Why are we talking about him? I don't remember why we were talking about him, but I remember we were talking about him, but I really can't remember why. I really can't remember why. No doxing. A little dox as a treat. He said he doxed me recently. The other day, like one of his streams recently, like I can't remember what was happening, but he was having a little vulnerable moment about something or other, and I was going through his room anyway, so I thought I'm gonna be nice to him. I'm gonna, like, as I go through, I'm gonna stop off and I'm gonna give him a hug. Because I can't remember what it was now, but he was having a moment about something or other. So I was like, I'm going to give him a little hug as I walk through. So I did. I like leant down and like hugged him in his chair. And, oh, wait, no, was it I was having a moment? I don't remember, actually. I might have been having a moment. I don't remember. I don't remember which way it was. But for whatever reason, I hugged him. And he was like, I can't remember if he asked if I was all right first. I think he might have asked if I was all right, and I stayed quiet, and then he went, Megu. But, like, he said, like, my IRL name. He said my IRL name. He didn't say Megu. That's how he said it. Like, he did say, like, Megu, like that. Like, you know, when you say someone's name, like, playfully to get their attention. He did that, but he did my IRL name. And I just turned around, I just sat around, like, stared at him like, you fucking what? I'm like, don't say that. And then I left. I rescinded my hug after that. I was like, I'm leaving. I hate you. I was like, I'm going. Goodbye. He did. It took him a minute to. Yeah, he didn't realise at first. I was like, don't say that. And he's like, what? He's like, and I'm like, you said my name. And he's like, did I? Oh, don't worry. No one heard it. Stinky boy. It's okay. I'll get my own back when we play, what's it called? Oh, I forget. What's the game? There's a new game from the company that did A Way Out and It Takes Two. What's the new one called? I forget. Split Fiction. That one, yeah. I'll get my own back when we play Split Fiction. We're going to do a Split Fiction collab. I don't know when, but we're going to play Split Fiction together. But I can't really do it yet, obviously, because of the hand situation. But yeah, we're going to play that at one point. And this was way before anyone in chat ever saw it, unless Ember saw it. Ember is the only person, I think, from my side of things who will remember this. But way back in the day, me and Mia, this is when he was like still little Vroid Mia, we played It Takes Two, and we did that on stream, so like some of our friends could watch it along with us. And I screamed and shouted Mia's IRL name a lot because I was angry at him, and this was like way before like either of us were like really used to streaming or using each other's names. It might not be as bad now. It might be okay, because like there are times where like I just call Mia IRL. Like I don't always say his IRL name anymore. Like sometimes I'll just be like talking about him or to him, and I will just say Mia, because I'm so used to like translating his name to Mia for you guys now. It's not that I forgot his IRL name or anything. Like, it's not that drastic, but it's like I'm so used to picking Mia over his IRL name. I've said Mia like to my brother and my mum before as well, and then I have to clarify. I'm like, sorry, IRL name. Because nowadays I tend to default to Mia and not the IRL name, so it might be okay. But yeah, back in the day when we did the It Takes Two collab, I guess we didn't even call it a collab back then. Like we didn't know anything really back then about like VTubing or like stream etiquette or like all the words and stuff. Like we knew nothing back then. But I guess technically you could argue it was a collab. We didn't know it at the time, but it was technically a collab. By today's standards, it would be considered a collab. But yeah, I would like something would happen, because like you know what Mia's like he's a bit trolly, isn't he? Like he'll do shit deliberately to like get a reaction and stuff. And I don't know how many of you here know It Takes Two, but it is a co-op game in the like most literal sense of the word. You literally cannot complete the game without playing together. Like you literally have to cooperate.
it's not just co-op as in you can play this game with a friend. Like, there are tasks and puzzles and mechanics and stuff that you literally need both people doing separate things to solve. But you know what Mia's like? He will do a little trolling. So like there would be times where like there's like a part where like you have to like jump over these areas, but like one of you has to activate the button to activate the platforms so the other people can jump on them. So like he would do the thing where like he would activate it, I would jump, and then he would like deactivate it. So like by the time I'm landing, the platform's gone and it would kill me. And like I would just like outburst. I would just be like, Mia! But like I was saying his IRL name instead of Mia because it was just like pure outburst of like rage. It was like pure outraged. Just like, Mia! But it just naturally came out as his IRL name like 99% of times. And sometimes I think a couple times I tried to like cover it with like a little backtrack, Mia, but like, you know, people had already heard it. But like it didn't really matter back then because, as I say, like there was like literally like maybe like 2 people watching. I know Ember was one of them. I know Ember and Drag were watching them, watching us. But yeah, literally no one else, no one back. Yeah, he has replied to me. I don't like his answer. I'm trying to think because like I could go to Tesco first and then go to the station. But like what time would I need to go to Tesco though is the question. He's expected in to the station at 4:23. And like I think it takes I think if I leave at like 4:45, I should be okay. Worst case scenario, if I am a little bit late, he'll just have to wait. It's a free ride instead of costing him like £8 on an Uber. He can wait if needed. Because I really don't want to have to do 2 trips. Because like my fuel light went on this morning as well. So like I don't want to drive my car all around the houses too much, you know, because I do need to go to get it fueled. I've got enough to get to Tesco and get back to the station. But like I don't want to take the piss too much, you know. I think if I go for 4, I think that might be too late. But I think 4:45, I think will be doable. I think that should be fine. Worst case scenario, he might have to wait around like 5-10 minutes, but you know, that's not too bad. There's still a free ride home in a comfortable car with no awkward chit chat. He can wait a little minute if need be. Oh, chat, we had some good news yesterday. I don't know how much they're paying out yet, but I had a text from the pet insurance company yesterday, and they are actually paying out on Ginga's claim. They haven't said how much they're paying out. They've just said full details will follow. Please allow 5 days for payment to be received. So I'm assuming they're going to send us a letter with like the breakdown or whatever. But yeah, we are getting some money back from Ginga's treatments. I don't know how much yet. I know we won't get all of it back because like you've got your voluntary excess as well on insurance because you always do. So like we won't get all of it back. And like I think our cover is like I think it's like up to £1,000 per condition or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head how much you spent on him or how much we're going to get back yet. But we're just glad to get anything back. So that's good news. That's good news. So hopefully we get a decent chunk of that back. Because most of it's been on Mia's credit card at the moment, bless him. So he wants to get that back down because he's doing his best to pay off his debts, bless him. But Ginga keep costing us. But we've been putting on the credit card because like he's got interest free on it anyway. And then it means like we don't have to stress like normal outgoings and stuff from like the main bank if anything else like goes wrong, sort of thing. Like we still got the normal amount expected like in his wages, sort of thing. So we've been putting it on the credit card until we get the money back. And it's taken a while to try and get the money back because the vet's never sent off the claim for. But yeah, they are actually giving us some money back, which is good. Ugh. I heard there's less trolly than It Takes Two. It was more encouraging than It Takes Two since it's about a divorced couple. I hope so, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, like I don't mind a little bit of hee funny, and like I'm partial to a little hee funny myself. But I've got a limit, you know. I've got a limit of how much hee funny starts to become not hee funny. So I don't mind. I don't. If it's a little less trolly, that's good in my book. I've heard really good things about it though. I have remained unspoiled. I don't know the story or anything. I've been tempted to watch it because I've seen a few people streaming it, but I've been really good. I haven't watched any streams or anything. I have been unspoiled. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I just don't know when we're going to be able to play it because my hand situation. And I thought I was getting better with my hand because like, but I don't really get the pain in my wrist now. Like, but now the pain is all in my thumb instead, which is kind of worse. I feel like it's kind of worse because like when it was my wrist pain, like, yeah, I was in pain all the time, which sucked. But like, it was like, it was like a consistent amount of pain regardless of what I was doing, you know? Whereas now, like, the pain in my thumb, it's like a very sharp pain instead of like the pain before, it was like more of just like a dull, constant pain. Whereas now, it's not a constant pain, but when it does hurt, it's like a really sharp, like, spark of pain. And I would say the pain itself is more painful. And it's like if I do anything with my thumb, like if I'm like bending my thumb or moving my thumb, I can move it a few times and it'll be fine. And then I'll move it another time and I just get this like bolt of pain that goes through it. And it's just like, oh, fuck. It really sucks. So yeah, I don't know when we'll be able to play it. Probably not anytime soon. But we do plan to play it. We do plan to play it. He's being a good boy. He's keeping it for me. I'm not gonna lie, right? I don't wait, let me check. Hang on, let me have a quick look, make sure he's not like lurking or something. Why are so many of you here? Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. What is this? What is this? He's not lurking, it's fine. I can say he's not lurking. A little part of me was worried that like he would want to play it with someone else. Like I was really worried that he would be like, oh, I'm going to play this with Kin or something like that. Like, not to talk shit about Kin or anything, but like, I would have been sad, you know, if he wanted to like run off and play it with like one of his cool streamer friends instead of me, I would have been sad. I'm not going to lie, because I did really enjoy playing It Takes Two with him and it was a really good experience and stuff. So I would have been jealous and a bit sad if he had decided to do it with like you know, one of his stream friends or something. So I was really happy that he does want to do it with me. And that sounds so bad out of context, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm glad that A, he doesn't want to play it with me anyway, and B, he's willing to wait for me too. He's not like, oh, I'm going to play it with someone else first then, but I'll still play it with you later. Like, he's not doing anything like that, which I'm really happy about. I would have bonked him. Thank you for the care package. Oh, big stretch. I was born an anarchist. Did you talk to your doctor about Wibby's head? I did speak to them. I've got a phone appointment with the physiotherapist on Wednesday next week. So yeah, I will have a talk to him on Wednesday, and I'll be like, Doc, my wrist hurts less, which is really great, but my thumb hurts more. Like, when the doctors, like, when I rang up this morning for the appointment and they asked me what was wrong, I was like, okay, first of all, I've got two problems. And they were like, okay, tell me, you know, one first. We'll do one at a time. So I told them the wrist first. And I was like, to be honest, the pain in the thumb now is worse than the wrist pain I originally came to the doctors for. I was like, the pain in my thumb now is worse than my original complaint of wrist pain. So I kind of want some help. I don't know if he can give me like different exercises or something or what. I don't know what they'll do, but hopefully they'll do something. Hopefully I'll be able to say or do something like, because like I said on the phone, like I don't know if like I'm potentially doing damage by keep doing these exercises. I don't know if like it would be better to like wear the splint less or if I should carry on wearing it all the time, because like he basically told me to like keep the splint on day and night. I can take it off for short periods, and like obviously if I need to like wash or anything like that, I can take it off. And like if I need to do anything where the splint like restricts too much movement and stuff, I can take it off. But like he did tell me to like wear it as much as possible, basically, to like force the tendons to rest when I'm not actively using it. So I've been doing that, but it's like, you know, like would it be better to have some time out of the splint, or is the splint, you know, is it not helpful? Is there like a different type of splint I could use instead, or is there different exercises or something? I don't know. I don't know. But something's definitely not right. I know that much. Okay, big sippies and big stretch. Hey Maggie, hope your ear infection clears up soon. I hope so. I've got some steroid drops to pick up soon. I'm gonna be going to pick up some steroid drops this afternoon. So hopefully they help. It's not, touch wood, it's not been too bad so far. It's not been too bad so far. It's not been like, it's not a kind of ear infection. I'm not in like constant pain, which is really nice because like earache is like the worst. I think earache and toothache are like two of the worst pains you can have. Thankfully, I don't have constant earache, which is nice. But I am basically deaf in one ear at this point. I can't really hear anything through my left ear. And like it's just like everything that side of my face, like even like my cheek and like the side of my face and stuff, like everything just feels swollen and like pressured and uncomfy. It's more of a discomfort than like a pain or anything. So it's not too bad. It could be worse, but I wanted to jump on it this morning because like I had a really bad ear infection last December, and I think I definitely let that get too bad before I sought help for it, and that one did end up being really bad. That one was a real doozy. And I didn't want to end up in the position again where it was a real doozy. So I acted on it a little bit earlier this time. So hopefully we treat it before it gets too bad, then treatment will be a quicker and less painful period, like process. And I haven't done my wibbies today because I've been rushing around this morning and stuff. So I haven't done my wibbies yet, but I've been, the last couple of days, I've been doing them sort of like around dinner time, because I normally take my splint off when I eat because it like restricts my movement a bit anyway, so it can make like knife and forking difficult. Plus I don't want to get it dirty. Like I don't want to like accidentally get like, you know, sauce on the splint or something, because then I gotta wash it and that's just kind of annoying. So yeah, I've been doing them when I've got my splint like off for dinner recently, and then I do them again. I do some stretches before I go to bed. So I will do my wibbies. Don't worry, I haven't done them yet, but I will do them. I have been very good. I haven't missed a single day. I've been very diligent about doing my wibbies. I've been a good bean. Well, a good bean in that sense, at least. Not an overall good bean, but a good bean with my wibbies, at least. I've been a wiggly bean recently, though. I'm about 2 times recently. This morning, and then not yesterday, but the day before. I woke up and my hand sock wasn't on my hand. I've had some really wiggly sleeps. I keep waking up without my hand sock on. I just wake up and I'm like, wait a minute. Why do I see my fingers? Where is my sock? I'm a wiggly little bean.
Little Wiggler. Hi, Nixon. How you doing? My autism is selecting a new song to play and repeat. Oh, what's your new repeat song? What's your new repeat song? My current repeat song, they've actually both been played on this list so far. I've been repeating where is it? It played just recently. Oh yeah, this one. I keep repeating this one. This is my new looper at the moment. I've been listening to this on repeat when I do art a lot recently. This song was doing it for me. And then I haven't been looping it as much. But I have also been looping this one, the Dog of Wisdom song. These are my two loopers at the moment. I'm not sure what they say about me as a person, but these are my loops at the moment. Those are the Megu loops. I love looping music. I've always loved looping music, much to my family's detriment. I'm currently looping Emptiness Machine. Wait, what is Emptiness Machine? I don't know if I know what that is. Do I know what that is? Oh, is that one of the newer Linkin Park songs? I looked up on Spotify and it's brought up the Emptiness Machine by Linkin Park. Ah, I don't know if I've heard that one. I don't know if I've heard that one. I think my last loop song was called Spider Girl. It was that or The Ferryman. I love looping songs, man. Looping songs is just the best vibe. Mia hates it, but I love it. I love looping songs. There's like so many songs that I've just made Mia hate over the years because I would just like relentlessly play them and play them and play them and play them. It's so weird though because like Mia had a spell fairly recently, like a couple of weeks ago. Like Mia had this moment where like he was just constantly, I don't know what's called. He was constantly playing that song from Billy Bust Up, where he's like talking about like, well, singing, I guess, not talking. The one where he's like singing about like all the different ways to die. Mia did have a little period of looping that. And I distinctly remember saying to him, like, it's so weird that you're listening to this. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because you don't loop music. You give shit to me so much about looping music, and now you're looping a song. And like, I don't dislike you looping it, but it's just weird because it's out of character for you. It's like it's weird for Mia to do it because like Mia just doesn't do that, and like Mia normally hates it when I do that. So it's weird for him to do it. I don't think it's inherently a weird thing to do. But it's weird for him because he doesn't do it and he's very anti-looping. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, chat. I think I might wrap up stream soon. I'm getting a little bit tired. And on the grounds that I do need to go out again in an hour, I think it would probably be better for me to end stream, go make a cup of tea, have some more tea, have a little rest before I have to go out again. I think that's probably the better thing for me to do. As much as I'm having fun chatting to you guys and stuff, I think it would be better if I have a little rest before I have to go out, pick up my meds and Mia. I'm definitely going to combo them in one trip. I think if I go at like 3:45, that should give me time. I'm pretty sure that should give me enough time.
You know, I think that will do it. I think that will be good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end here, chat. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry to like end like fairly abruptly, but it's like sneaking up on me quickly, and I don't want to like keep streaming and then get tireder. Like I feel like if I stop streaming, I probably won't get tireder, you know? Whereas if I keep streaming, there's a chance that I'll get progressively tireder, and I don't want to get to that point where I'm too tired to go out and pick up my meds. So I know it's a semi abrupt ending. I'm really sorry for that. But I did kind of warn you guys at the beginning anyway. I did warn you that like I wasn't sure how today was gonna go. I think 3.5 hours is pretty good. I think 3.5 hours for an ear infection stream, I think it's pretty good going. I think it's pretty good going. I don't want to live in your retirement home, Migu. Why not? My retirement home is great. My last one was the Trash Can song by the Chalketeers. That's the Star Rail one, right? That one was cute. That one was cute. I like the video to that as well. The little animated video is really adorable. Spotify keeps trying to force me to listen to that, and I don't wanna. That's fair. I will admit the song wasn't really my cup of tea. I can see the appeal, but it didn't really do it for me. I'm not gonna lie. I've been listening to the new Architects album on loop since it was released. Is that a band? I don't think I recognise the name The Architects. What type of music is it? I can't spell. I tried looking it up on Spotify and I just cannot spell. Hang on, where's it? I'm going to copy it from Control C, Control V. The Architects. Oh, it's brought up several. Spotify has. Oh my god, Spotify has so many artists. It's brought up Architects, The Architects, Architects, but with a different profile picture. Which one is it? Which one is it? Which Architects am I looking for? What's the new album? Albums. I'm trying to look at them. See who had the most recent album. I think I found him. Yeah, I did. Skynet and All Between. I found it. I'll give it a little listen. I'm older and grodier today. Wait, Nixon, is it your birthday? Happy birthday, Nixon! Happy birthday! How much older are you? Are you gonna say? Are you gonna say how old you are? Or are you gonna keep it secret? You're gonna take the secret to your grave. I love the little birthday emoji. That's so cute. 27. Oh, you're still a baby. Your number doesn't even begin with 3. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry. The one before that was. Would anyone care by Citizen Soldier? I'm writing this down. I'm gonna go listen to your songs, chat. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna listen to your songs. Would anyone care? What do you reckon, chat? Do we feel like raiding today? Do we feel a raid today? Let's have a little look. Who is anyone around? Let's have a little looky. Oh, Mimi Chair's live. I never get a chance to raid Mimi. Should we go say hi to Mimi Chair? I'm gonna go dump you off in an art stream, chat. I'm gonna go dump you in an art stream. My mum still gets carded in her 50s. Wait, really? I have a baby face, but I am not a twink like Hero. It's so bad. Oh no, it's so over. I'm gonna take you guys over to Mimi chat. She has raids on. Cool. I'm gonna take you over to Mimi Chair. For anyone that doesn't already know her, she is an art streamer. And she's from the Netherlands. She's a very sweet little bean. Got some chaos in her as well. She's got a good mix of cute and chaos. You know, the best combo. And she just has nice comfy vibes. I think just chilling out in an art stream for a bit. That will be a good vibe for me to just chill and rest in for a little bit before I have to go out again. So yeah, we're gonna go say hi to Mimi because I like I said, I am getting quite tired. I'm surprised I streamed for as long as I did, to be honest. I was worried, like when I first put my headphones on and like everything sounded weird. I thought I might get like quite overwhelmed quite early and have to leave. So like I done better than I thought I would today. Raid messages. You're so right, buddy. There you go. You can have a little raid message as a treat. Bobbington's so ready. Bobbington beat me. But yeah, so we're gonna go say hi to Mimi. I don't know what my plans are for further streams. I might stream over the weekend if I feel like it. I might not. I mean, the Megu vibe in general these days is just like if it happens, it happens. If not, it doesn't. So we're still kind of on those rules pretty much forever, I guess. So I'll see you when I see you. But have a great rest of your day, whatever you get up to. I love you, and I'll see you next stream. Bye bye.